too bad an assessment of like ghost peppers. Yeah.
Hello, and welcome back, Spelljammers. The light of Xaryxis to session 5? 5.
6.
5. We skipped, yeah, it would be 6, but we skipped a week. Welcome back to session 5. I need to blow my nose, excuse me. All right.
No.
Now that is disgustingly the intro, we will we'll go
It's a
ahead
foghorn intro.
and start
Quick, somebody fart.
the night as we do every night. The party starts with inspiration. Open up your character sheets and up by your character portrait, and I'll even give one to Elena Sartell. These are only for your own rolls. They cannot be given to other people, but you get to reroll any d20 of the night with that inspiration of the morning. The morning. It's like my only morning game. One of two, actually.
Where's my friend?
And Dan's in both of them. Morning game's the
So is
only
that
reason.
I will refresh just in case.
Only reason I wake up, to be quite honest.
Well, I hope that's a good thing. I hope it like keeps you on the right side of the day.
Wait, why did that make 2 copies? Okay, you know what? Let's get a new Quaggoth imported. And did you make art for Dusk Shriek, or is that a no-go? Is that a no-go?
I'm still working on it. It's really hard to get it to make that specific named creature, so I'm describing it.
Sure. So I'm gonna just import a Quaggoth and just name him Dusk Shriek. The party's dragging Dusk Shriek around town. But let's go ahead and get a recap of last week. And to do so, we all roll a d20.
no whammies.
That was here.
That's a
Oh
whammy.
yeah, boy.
Oh, no.
Is that what
I
whammy
mean-
is? I have never watched Wheel of Fortune. To be
I mean,
honest.
Baylock, you're welcome to give us an intro without being here, but that's up to you.
baby.
That's up to you.
Rollies.
It becomes a little more difficult when you weren't here. We only have the 3 of you then, so yes, rollies. Let's re-roll that 11. And let's see, prototype token. He should be friendly, at least neutral. Neutral's fine. Dusk Shriek.
Yay.
A 14 and an 8. Father Morris, do you remember what happened?
Yeah, sorry, I'm eating. Sorry.
Well, do you want to eat? We could throw it to somebody else. It's not that important.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I tried
What?
to refine this prompt. You guys
Eat your-
should see this.
Eat your breakfast. Eat your breakfast, Morris.
Okay.
Let's
Thank you.
just throw it to Reed. Reed, you don't mind, do you?
Yeah. I don't mind. It's fine. Eat your sausage rolls and your pocket bacon. I'll fill in everybody. So, I guess last we left off, we arrived at the Rock of Bral, and we thanked the captain, and she offered us kind of like some work possibly in the future. Was deciding, I'm gonna write up some contracts, and if you decide, you can just, come back and work for me, but I'll be your boss, which means you gotta listen to me actually. And so maybe we're like, we'll put you on the back burner, and we'll come back to that later, maybe. And we decided that we would. It was pretty late, but we wanted to find a place to stay, to sleep, and chow down. So we went to the local, like, spotlight in place, like the Laughing Beholder, to see Lord Luigi. He's so cool.
Folks bollocks. Nothing but
Shut up.
Sheer bollocks.
And he was very, very nice. He had some very interesting selection of foods, pretty much something for everybody, which was really, really accommodating. And he offered us a little bit of insight. Well, maybe a lot of bit of insight. Too much insight, it was kind of overwhelming. Um, and we
He was
met
talking nonsense about role players that control the world with role play.
A lot of fucking bollocks.
Would have been so much fun to play with him too. I had some cards, and some dice, but I didn't have a board with me. Unfortunately, couldn't pack that. Anyway, we met with this gift dude that that's Commander Sartell, Captain Sartell told us about. And he had like this parrot on his shoulder, which is really cool. Until we realized that the parrot was part of the inn and not really part of his getup, which kind of brought
Yeah,
his
but
coolness level down.
it's the lonely person parrot.
Yeah, the lonely person parrot. Um,
it's the escort, the parrot of the evening.
The tavern parrot.
yeah, and yeah, it's the parrot with the like an eye patch. Eye parrot. Anyway, it's so that way he looks like he has one eye, like large Luigi, in the middle, in the center. Only it's on this. Anyway, um, we spoke with him, and apparently he had an offer for us, and he was being a bit vocal about it. There were a lot of patrons at the inn regarding the destruction of the elves, the space elves, astral elves, and Reed spotted through the cracks of the building that there may have been a party of astral elves listening in on our conversation. Um, from like maybe like 5 or 6 elves ish. Couldn't really tell how many eyes exactly. So Reed decided, hey, maybe we should take this elsewhere, and so we took it elsewhere and managed to stealthily avoid their gaze. And they couldn't follow us, which was great. I didn't want that to happen. But we met upon some space clowns. Oh, so much fun. And Enos decided, yeah, I'm gonna make fun of your shoes because they squeak to go away, and which they did, but it wasn't very nice. But that's okay. We've avoided whatever encounter that may have been, and arrived back to Captain Sartell's ship while she was like, "Nope, go away. You can't come here. We got this thing called we gotta we gotta repair our ship." But we just needed a couple minutes there. But actually, before that, we also went to the gift ship, which was a really tiny little skiff thing. But it had this like big tree on it, and that was like the spelljamming helm. And she was really cool. She spoke Druidic, and I can't really speak that, but I listened to her wispy words anyway. And the ship of the GIF, well, it was currently on lease, or being rented out to this tiefling lady who had a job to do, and she has it for 40 days, and she was like, "You can't take it back from me. It's mine now, right now." But she offered to hire us or to give us the ship so long as we paid like 3,000 gold, but that was an exorbitant amount, and she was kind of scamming us, so we kind of just said no and decided we'd do something else. And then we went over to Captain Sartell's ship and had ourselves a little conversation, mini conversation, inside the ship itself, with our GIF friend, and are deciding what to do with the information on where we're gonna go and whose ship we're gonna use and what we're gonna do. Um, in regards to going to the Astral Elf stronghold, or if not that specifically, then finding a friend who has a map regarding the Astral Elven stronghold, um, and decide to uh, set up our set up for the evening at one of the inns. But before we could do that, we needed some gold. We went to the the gold exchange building. Let's see if I remember correctly.
The exchequer,
Uh, yeah.
which I'm never going to be able to say.
Exchequer.
The exchequer. Yeah.
Like someone who
Uh,
used to check things. Think of it like that. It's like a guy who used to check stuff. He's an ex-checker.
and I believe it was Reed and who else exchanged? I know someone else exchanged gold.
It was me. I was here last session.
It was you.
It was you.
You just forgot. That's
I
okay.
forgot nothing. I just wasn't aware.
And we went to what was it? The White? No, we went to the Gilded Prow. The Gilded Prow.
The
Yes.
Gilded Prow. I've updated a lot of the taverns. I've not finished, but you will see that the entire, at least southern side of the map, has updated notes. The other updated note I want to point you all to is on the far left here. And this is the houses and companies, and the guilds, societies, and orders of the Rock of Braille. That's on the far, far left. It's these big booklets on the far left here.
Ooh.
And now these you should all have access to, yes? And you should see a whole bunch
Yep.
of pages. Now, the first one telling you what a guild, society, or order is, or what a house or company is. And then the next one's giving you examples of some of them, at least the major ones. And you all can kind of take a look through there. But I want to give you just a quick couple examples of it. So guilds, societies, and orders, you're talking about like mages guilds and mercenary guilds and things like that. In this case, the Pragmatic Order of Thought, or POTS. They're anti-slavers. And at the bottom, it just shows their agenda and their membership, things like that, and their symbols. And the 10th Pite. They are trying to actually take over the kingship, and they're kind of evil. The Seekers, they run the library, but they are known for learning magics and learning the identity of the arcane, and things like that. They seek knowledge. Fireball Alliance are mages. There's thieves guilds, all different types of thieves guilds, quite a few of them. And a few other mage guilds and things as well. And for companies, this is where you'll find all types of mercenary companies. And similar ilk, but mostly mercenary companies. But like the Arcane, they sell spelljamming equipment, and they have a large warehouse up here. So you'll see like a lot of red areas. Those are some of these companies' warehouses. They're not shops. They're actual warehouses, right off the docks. And
How
any
apparent are these different factions? Like just when we're walking around, like do they have
So,
fires and
you
stuff,
guys have
or-
only been here for a couple hours, so it's not, right? But maybe, like, you definitely hear, like, a few people saying, like, hey, did you see the shipwrights guild? As you're walking past them. And you probably hear a couple, like, people, like, especially as you walk past the Great Market, you hear some people whispering about the Red Masks. You might not know who they are yet, but you hear, like, these names getting thrown around town.
do any of them actively recruit, or are they?
Oh,
kind of
sure,
all-
sure. A lot of these. So, and the houses and companies, I mean, yeah, they're public, they're open, they're storefronts in some cases.
Okay.
The Vulcan's Legion is like a large army. The Syndiath Line is they actually are transport, like a busing company. And you can see like some other houses and mercantile companies that you could certainly join. The Longfanes, they hire pretty much any fighter. Like, if you went to like a random guard or something, you were like, hey, I need a job, they'd be like, well, what do you do? Well, you're a fighter. Well, go join one of these companies, get the hell out of here.
Mhm.
Or they'd tell you to join a pirate crew or something. But yeah, so there's a whole bunch of stuff. And obviously you guys only just got here. You guys hit up a tavern. You did a little bit of back and forth between the docks. You went to the Exchequer, got your money exchanged, and headed past the Great Market, this large open market area, and towards the Gilded Prow. And the Gilded Prow is this large tavern establishment built right on the corner of the festival grounds. And you can see that it has chunks of boat, and it looks like it's mostly reclaimed wood from boats. And it has sails. It looks very much like a very piratey tavern right on the corner here. And it's this large kind of boat sticking out. And that is where we will rejoin the party, as you guys are just making your way into the Gilded Prow. It's almost 7 o'clock at night. Although there is no day or night on the Rock of Bral, you kind of always, you can see that they can control when they turn away from the sun with the sails underneath. So the rock does rotate on a 24-hour schedule to give the effect of night. But they could, if they wanted to, keep it always twilight or, flip around. But then the sun would just always be in that same spot.
Oh, would that mean like if someone super dangerous was on the loose, they could turn it all daytime so they could
They
find
could.
them easier?
They
Okay,
could. They could just flip the rock
that's
over.
neat. That's cool.
Well, didn't we already take a long rest?
I don't think that we actually did do that long rest, but you guys would come into the Gilded Prow and you can get a long rest. And the other thing that we left off on was that you all did level up. So let's make sure that we actually update all of that. Which are you guys level 6 now or 7?
6 now, yeah.
6.
I'm 6.
Okay. So I see. Did some of you already do it on here? Is that why?
We did it last session.
We did do it last session. Looks like everybody's
yeah,
level
yeah.
6.
Except for the people that may not have been.
Except for
here.
Riku, who is still not here, so that's okay. I did it with them off session, so I can update them, but they're not here today, so that's all right.
The only thing we didn't do, at least not all of us, is confirm what our spirit point purchases were.
Sure. Let's update your weapons, and then I'll tell you a little bit about some of the people at the Gilded Prow. Let's go. Baylock, have you already done Arshavuna? Arshavuna. How do you say your weapon again?
Arshavuna.
Arshavuna. That wasn't that far off. Have you already done the spirit points for that? And what do we have? Let's actually put it on here.
Maybe. Let me remind myself.
All right, we'll take your time. Take your time with it, and give me a list of everything it has, and I'm going to put it on its details there. Let's go to then Reed. Reed, what about your weapon?
Yes.
Yggdrasil, the Warden.
I removed, or rather, I replaced Poison Ward to give myself 1 extra spirit point and purchased Trapped Spell, which is 4 spirit points. So I can store a spell.
I haven't read the rules in a little bit. Does it take anything to replace, or does it just let you do that?
You can replace any.
Let me pull it. I'll pull it open as well. I know that there's like that little section on it, but go ahead.
If you're replacing, it's 1 each. So, like, say if I wanted to get something that was 6 spirit points instead, I wouldn't be able to. I wouldn't be able to like remove Charm Ward, remove Fear Ward, and remove Poison Ward, and then I can only do 1 of them.
Yep, 1 upgrade can only ever remove a single upgrade at a time on the weapon. You cannot remove multiple. So if you wanted to grab 5 points and you had 1, 1, 1, 1, you couldn't take all 5 of those off. All right.
I cannot.
As long as you're going 1 by 1, then that looks like that's really the only rule. So we're good.
Yeah. There's another one where you can like reset the whole thing, but it's not something you can just do willy nilly. That's something that you as a DM have to decide. Because that's like,
that'd be like a role play situation.
Yeah.
Very cool. All right. And have you already updated your info on here? It looks like it.
Yep.
Yeah. Very cool. And then let's go to Father Morris. Do you know about the Corded Sword of Saint Raleigh? What have we updated?
Yes, I gotten quick. So that's advantage on initiative rolls and spell
very
link.
nice.
Level 1, and that's just an additional first level spell slot.
Very cool, very cool. Did you already add that to yourself, or do you need it?
Yeah, added that.
Yeah, you can just write 1 out of 1 on the first level spell slot.
Oh, the spell slot. Oh.
First level spell slot, which once expended is regained on a long. Yep, yeah, you get an extra spell slot. So first level. Okay. Alrighty. And let's take a look here then to Enos. Enos, you have the
You get-
simian staff.
You get 3 points for leveling up. Is that
Not every time, but I gave you 3 points last level up, yes.
so? I had 1 left over, which means I have 4 to spend.
Oh, have you not spent it yet? Not a problem.
Well, I left it. Yeah, I literally no, I haven't. I've
Take
been
your
looking at
time
it.
with it then. It's not a rush. We're not in a combat right now. I want you to make the right choice.
Yeah, I mean, I did want to. I have been down a lot rolling death saves. I kind of want to take Death Ward. Just,
Well, look
but
through
how many can you
everything.
take?
Look through everything. Take your time. And just let us know when you do choose it. And same thing,
Okay.
Baylock. The party arrives at the Gilded Prow that night, ready for a long rest. You see that the establishment is run by a dwarven man, and he looks like an old sailor. And he has a scarred face, just kind of suntanned skin. And you can see that there's a drunkard at the bar that looks like a very haggard, beaten up pirate. And you can see behind the bar is a sea elf. She is the barmaid. And that is who you all. You speak to Rorik at the front to get your rooms. And at that point, he says, if you're looking for something to eat or drink, we've got a small little tavern here. And plenty of rooms upstairs.
Oh, I already put down money for my room, and also I believe what was it, Father Morris's room with Enos.
And then I purchased my own room.
Yeah, I think you guys already paid and everything, so you guys already have.
Yeah.
We did all that last week, and we can pass this night here. You guys can long rest. Nobody attacks you tonight, unfortunately.
Oh, they had an option. They had the opportunity, but they missed out because we passed without trace.
Yep.
And,
And then we did the. I think we actually did the morning last time, didn't we? Because you guys got a letter.
Mm-hmm. We
That's
all
what we.
got a letter.
That's what we left off
from-
on. Yes, the very last thing.
Mhm.
Hmm.
They all knew us. It was all a fancy letter to go to some like
Oh, party.
ball or something,
You were invited to a ball.
Right.
which is why I want
Damn.
to get something for my good friend. Oh yeah, I should be making that art real quick. Let's see here.
I don't really have any formal clothes myself. Probably sort that out.
I am in formal clothes always.
Well, la-di-da. Some of us like to feel casual now and again.
Yes, casual certainly is a word to describe you, Enos. Use one.
Casual about living sometimes, hey.
You see, Captain Sartell has gotten breakfast in the morning, and she comes and checks on each of you. Commodore Crux come with you? He did, right? Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
All
we
right.
did.
And she says, I spoke with the Commodore. Looks like we're stuck taking my ship, unless you all had a plan.
We do have that one, ace up our sleeve. We hit a ship in the asteroids, remember?
That's a very hot ship.
You could take the Star Moth around. I thought you all wanted to pawn it off. Could always buy a new ship while we're here, too. If you want multiple.
Didn't we roll and then did the Navy uncover it?
Well, we don't know that, so I'm
We
playing.
don't know
Like,
that.
that's the thing. So I'm playing like Enos thinks it's a great
Yep,
idea
yep,
because
yep.
he
Sorry
still
about
does. No,
No,
it's
you're
not
good,
worry.
you're good.
But like you are right that we, as players, we know that it's kind of fucked.
Yeah, it's bad news bears. But at the same time, it's just a really hot ship, and I don't know if I want to go patrolling about.
You guys
that
did take its spelljamming helm, yes?
We did.
Yeah, we do
Yeah.
know that. Well,
And the
Skint,
furniture.
Would you suggest we buy a new ship? I don't have that kind of moolah.
Well, let's go get it.
Well, I mean, you got the helm. I mean, that alone, it's worth a lot.
But wouldn't it be cheaper to keep the helm and get like just a vessel to put it in?
Well, not if you ain't got no funds. You could get a smaller ship than that Star Moth. That Star Moth was a big one, and that's a good helm. Now
But
we'd
you
still
think
have
it'd
to
be
sell it
tricky
on the
to
down
sell
low.
it? Yeah, that's what I was gonna say because it's a bloody star moth helm. You know, it's gonna raise some red flags in it.
Well, that's why you have to go to a different type of district. You know.
Well, I mean, can't hurt to see how much we can get for it. I wouldn't mind my share of it if I'm being totally honest, because I have not a nib to me name.
That's okay. We got some other things that we can sell, and that should make us a pretty big buck.
But we're gonna have to make money at some point soon.
Plenty of
Let's
ways to make money here.
Mm.
But I think y'all also got a little bit of a time limit too, you know, so.
Well, it's going to take a couple days for your ship to be prepared anyway, right,
It
Captain?
is, yeah, just a few. It's in the shipwright right now.
Yeah. So,
What about we thieve it? I'm just floating it out there because it can often, like, if you're under time pressure, it can be, you know, you gotta maybe acquiesce to not playing by the rules so much. Just me then.
I'm just gonna put it out there that some things you could do in broad daylight, and other things best done under shadows. And this is a broad daylight kind of place.
Well, right,
Gotta-
that is. Wait for the rock to rotate, and then we'll be just the same. Plus, you can do stuff if it's technically the sun's at. I mean, you can't do no crime. Not that I'm, you know, proclivity.
So anybody who is local or has been to the rock before can roll a history check. And I'll roll one for Sortel to see if she can help at all. Yeah, she rolled pretty high. I don't know if any of you have been here before.
I wouldn't have been, but like we would have been educated about.
You're a Spelljammer. You could roll for
kinds.
sure. Yeah, you could roll.
Pappy always told me the stories of
Yeah,
Bral, but I
read
never really
from
listened very much.
absolutely from history. You're welcome to roll. All right, so Sartell will just say, since she did roll high, she'll say, well, now I'm not privy to the lower parts of Braille, but you know, the asteroid, from what I hear, it's got an undercity. There's a whole bunch of tunnels, and there's a thieves guild for every type of person. And I'm not the type of person to go sticking my nose into no thieves guild, but if y'all wanted to ask around, as long as you don't get yourselves in too much trouble, should be able to find your way.
Perhaps we should sell what we're planning to sell, see what kind of funds we're working with, look into what it would cost to get a suitable Spelljammer, and if that does not meet our purview, then we go below for more.
How about this then?
Convenience.
Since you know, since we're not in a dungeon or nothing, splitting up can't hurt, can it? So we just split off. We just compartmentalize this set of tasks and get it done lickety split in it.
Yeah, just don't get kidnapped.
I mean, who's after us even?
Yeah,
Well, it's not us specifically. Just don't get kidnapped. That's just general advice.
Well, I
you're
mean,
also pretty racist to those clowns yesterday.
well,
Yeah.
I don't know if it could be really called that. I mean,
You
bit
made fun of their
healthy.
physical appearances. Things they have no
Well,
control
yeah, but
over.
that's fair game because they're evil innately, isn't it?
So because they're evil, they are free game.
Fair game for a bit of ribbing, yeah. I mean, yeah, that is my. I suppose.
Aren't they fiends? I mean, that's...
Now look, I mean, you're gonna see a lot of folk you might not agree with on the rock. There's even an illithid emissary. I don't know how many actual illithids are here, but you know, I mean, everybody shows up on the rock. It's a neutral ground. Just
My
don't go
training's
getting
to
your
be-
heads cut off.
My training's to be very wary of space clowns. You saying I should maybe press the brakes a little on that?
I'll be as wary as you want, but you know, don't get yourself in too much trouble. You end up in the gutter around this type of city.
That's fair enough.
Yeah, we're gonna find you
And,
choked out with a animal balloon around your throat.
Truthfully, I'd never really encountered him till yesterday, so I was a little taken aback by seeing him in person.
Yeah, the last time you saw something for the first time, you kind of freaked out and tried to fireball, I think.
Well, in my defence, on that occasion, it was eating brains, so I think I'm still sitting pretty with that one.
Yeah, but it's not evil.
And you'll do great with the mind flares.
Oh, I've heard of mind flayers. At least you can reason with one of them. Well, maybe not.
Probably here you can, but
Commodore Crux comes down. Ugh. Good morning, everyone.
Sleep well?
What did you ask him?
Sleep well?
Sleep well. Oh, okay.
Yes, question mark?
He says, not really, but I slept.
Yeah, beds are a bit small, probably.
they give you a
for
poor
one of
mattress.
your frame.
No, I've had a lot of my mind lately. With, everything that's happened.
Is this the first genocide you've had to deal with, Captain?
He looks down for a moment. It's not.
Well, look, we're all in the genocide boat. Question is, what are we going to do about it? Seems like we're going to purchase a ship.
Have we discussed our plans for the next few days?
We're going to sell up shop, try and buy ourselves a ship, get out of here as free agents, innit?
Free agents?
Yeah. Solve this problem ourselves.
And
I
we
guess.
need to
He
find your
nods.
friend and get that map. Yes?
Just making sure we're still on the same mark. All right.
We were invited to some kind of a shindig, though. I
Invited?
wonder if it might be.
By who?
Yeah. Show him the letter. Who's got the letter?
We all have letters.
You present the letter. He takes a look. There is only one letter, but it is nice.
Oh.
Nice filigree. Nice paper. Invited your whole party. He takes a look at it and he reads through. Who here knows a stain? Who is this man that invited us to a ball?
Your guess is as good as mine. I mean, honestly, your guess should be better, shouldn't it? Aren't you a resident?
This is not somebody he would know. I'm going to give him a disadvantage history check. Yeah, he says, I've never met him, whoever he is.
Important enough to be throwing a ball.
For
Why don't we
newcomers.
just ask?
Well, based on the composition of the letter and the seal upon it, appears to be some form of nobility.
Yes,
Why
I
would
think
he
you're
invite
right.
us? Why would we even be on his radar?
That was my concern.
I'll ask. Mr. Stoutbeard, sir?
You see Rorik barely awake with a mug of ale in his hand. He says, Hi! What did you need?
Do you know this person that's like on this letter thingy?
Your letter you got this morning. That's from Hastane.
Mm-hmm.
Lord Hastane.
No idea.
Well, he's a lord. In the high city. He's got a little castle.
Yeah, and I'm a turtle from Garden, all the way like out there, and I've never been here, so I have no idea who that is.
Well, he seems to know who you are. Send you a letter on your first day.
Yeah, that's pretty weird.
You could always go meet him, but doubt you could get in.
Well, if you gave us a letter, maybe that's our way in, but...
Well, what's
I'm
it
gonna follow
say?
behind and
Yeah, go ahead.
ask, do you know like how he might know us? I mean, what kind of surveillance is here on the rock?
He says, I mean, if you just arrived, And you're not his friends. You must have caught his attention somehow. What's the harm in a noble inviting you to something?
Could
Pretty
be a problem.
suspicious, isn't it?
Well, actually, no, not for me. This actually does happen often.
Well, listen. As long as you're staying at the Gilded Prow, if anybody gives you trouble, just come running back here. We'll make sure you stay
Goodbye.
safe.
Well, thank you for the info.
And you guys all notice something in Rorik's personality. He seems to treat everybody that is his guest at the inn as family.
Mm-hmm.
So he's very inviting of, like, if you're in trouble, come back. Your rooms are yours as long as you're paying for them. And you're welcome to leave, like, whatever you do leave in the rooms. To that end, if you want to make either a chest on your character sheet and make it a container, or make a second actor and drop things in it and make it like a tavern chest, you're welcome to do that, especially if you're going to be messing with any thieves guilds or anything. But you can do what you would like there with your inventory, and if you need any help with that, feel free to ask. But I'll throw it to all of you as you start to head out. Commodore Crux says, I'm going to spend the first part of the morning just asking around a few friends in Gift Town. Where can I meet all of you later? Back here, or?
Yeah, that should be all right. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess I'll put down some more money for our rooms just in case we need another night to stay. So I will pay him another 3 gold. So I will now be at 41 points. I don't know.
Commodore Crux heads off to Gift Town. We'll move him over.
So, our previous funds that we got transverted, I'm pretty sure we put in the chat of the old server,
Mm-hmm.
and I did not have the foresight to write mine down.
Oh, no.
You converted up to I think it was 150, and you spent 5 on your own personal room.
Then I'll drop 10 more to get 2 more days.
Feel free to put that note somewhere in your journal, just for how much Braille coin you have.
Yeah.
You did spend 5% for it, so.
Mhm.
Oh, I feel like I'm an idiot this morning. I just forgot to write down the gold that we got from last session.
I don't think you got any.
I'll jump into the other
Well, didn't we-
server and take a look at like any notes. I'll try to get that updated, maybe even during the break if we need to. But did we get gold? I don't think we've sold anything yet.
Nope.
I got nothing,
Okay.
'cause
So
I
the
didn't have
party
any.
has a whole bunch of loot in the bag of holding, like a whole bunch.
Mhm. Lots of weapons and armor. We've
So you
got,
guys got to go
furniture.
to pawn it off now. Like that's kind of your goal
Mhm.
this morning.
Yep.
So who's
Alright,
going?
down-
Where do you
yeah,
go? What do
where's
you
the-
all want to do?
Where's the nearest fence? Yeah, that's the good
Well,
question.
Well,
you guys don't know
Nice.
your way around town. You're gonna have to figure it out. You're gonna have to ask people, go
Mhm.
places. Let me know where you go.
Okay, all right.
Are we
Well,
going to
there's a
split
big-
up or no?
There's a big market right there.
You
Open
yeah,
air
the
market,
first
that's-
thing that you guys see as you come out of the Gilded Prow, on your right, you see the festival grounds. These small stalls, they look like they're selling all types of knickknacks. And it is somewhat busy, bit of foot traffic, not that busy. It's more like artists than like food and things. It's more artistry, very much like a little town kind of festival thing. As you look across the way, you can see a large forest. And then throughout the other area, a lot of these just look like houses and buildings. This looks like some large establishment. It just says the Smith's Coster over it. You don't know what that is. You walk past, you see a blacksmith. And across from the blacksmith, you can smell the smell of baked goods in the air, wafting from one specific stall. And you see all of these stalls, food stalls, magic weapons, rugs, all types, like everything. A huge bazaar, an outdoor bazaar, stalls set up, lining the walls. It looks like they do have, like, sectioned off spots and regulation to some degree. You also see a couple guards walking through. It looks like they patrol regularly, and across from it, you can actually see a large, what looks like an office, barracks, and jail, and then a whole bunch of buildings and shops that are built off of it. There's
Well,
even
I
a
guess
few
it's
like
time.
small spelljammers that have landed and are just like they're running like food trucks.
Time for a wander, I suppose. And then I'm gonna cast tongues on myself. And I'm just gonna start wandering through and eavesdropping, see if I can hear of any illicit activity
Yeah, you
in any
guys
language.
head in. Like I said, the first thing you see is this bakery, and nothing special here, but you see these kind of neat baked goods, some exotic flavors, some different types of breads, some greens, some purple, some different types of nuts and grains that you've never seen before, making all types of pastries. It, just smells good and some good food in the air. And other stalls like that, you see a lot of like it's still early morning, so a lot of like the meat stalls aren't opened yet, but you can see a lot of them starting to open. And it looks like later in the day there'd probably be like different meats on sticks and all types of foods. But it's kind of early morning, kind of a low buzz of activity. And you can see quite a few people trying to pitch you items and weapons as you walk past. And one particular man comes up as he sees your party coming through, and he looks like a beggar, and he's been following you for a moment, and he says, "Excuse me," and he pulls on Baylock on your shoulder, like kind of on your elbows, jacket. "Sir, good sir."
I
"You have any Bral coin, good sir? Just need some breakfast."
I believe there was a trash can by the baker's. You could go get food there, and he'll keep walking.
"I checked the trash can, sir. It's empty. They just changed them."
Can I insight this guy? Is he just hungry, or is he like got ulterior motives?
Sure, roll an insight. He looks like a beggar. He's trying to get coin off of you.
I can't tell whether it's genuine for. I mean, it's just desperation. It's probably hard to.
He looks like he lives on the streets. He says,
Yeah.
"Hi, just a couple silver. Do me just right."
No, indeed, just right.
I'll give him a fried zard on a stick.
You hand him a bit of fried food. He grabs it and just starts to eat it. He
All
nods
I
and
got. Sorry, mate.
he says, "I appreciate it. What's your name,
Oh,
friend?"
I've actually got another one here. Have it. I didn't really like them, as it turns out. Enos is the name. How about you?
He grabs the other one as he's eating. "Name's Ren the Wretched. Kind of run this place."
You run the market.
He looks around. "Yeah, it's my house."
I find that hard to believe.
Oh, yeah?
This wretched moniker, is that one you appropriated for yourself, or?
"That's what everybody calls me around here." He starts to pick his
Interesting way to
teeth
treat the
with
boss, innit?
he starts to pick his teeth with the stick that he just cleaned all the meat off of, and you can see that he's got some rotted teeth, and it kind of stinks. And he says, "I can tell you where everything is, like it's like the back of my hand, you know."
I'll pull him and start talking quieter. Then I'll pull him slightly to the side. How about fences? You know where any of them are, hey? You know, sell, buy illicit goods.
He kind of looks around, he pulls you in. He's kind of playing it up. He says, "All right, I'll tell you where the good places to sell things are. You gotta go under town. In the tunnels. But you can't be going down there unless you sign up with one of the thieves' guilds. Now, if you're messing around in the Great Market, you're gonna find the Red Masks are the biggest problem here. They run that
Oh.
tavern over yonder, and he points over his shoulder towards the Red Ale. It's an easy way to get into the thieves' guilds. But they're a bunch of bullies.
Oh, well, we've had some experience with them. Not those particular bullies, but they're all the same, aren't they?
But you really play it smart. You don't sign up with no one. That's my recommendation.
Freelance. Get some leverage of some kind. Get in without a contract, you mean?
Yeah, once you get into all these guilds, they just keep on fighting each other, making you battle each other. There's blood in the streets. I woke up one time, dead man right in front of me. Now, sure, I went through his pockets, took his shoes and his jacket, and he kind of looks, he shows you the jacket. He's like, but it's still a sad sight.
Yeah, well, you got to make do where you can, I guess.
Yeah,
Lasted
listen,
you a while, the jacket, the shoes.
couple years now.
Well, good then.
Could use a new pair of shoes if you got a few more silver.
No, but take this. I'll give him my third and final fried zard on a stick.
He takes it, starts eating. You ain't got anything to help this down, do you? It's been a while since since I've had
I
a
was.
good drink.
Yeah, we'll be back at the pub later. I'll give him. I do also have a house. I don't know. It's in a mug, but I guess I've been carrying it with a lid on. I give him that too. Bit later. I'll delete all this from my inventory.
Go for it. He takes everything you have as you walk away. And
Well, would I have? Is the rest of the party hearing what you're saying, Enos? Or
yeah,
or
he's
you
like,
I'm
he's
not
just
like
in the back.
past the original bit where I was like asking where to buy illicit goods. We've not been talking loud. We've not been talking quietly. Yeah.
Okay.
Fine.
I would like kind of go up to him and say, well, thank you, Ren, for helping us here, and I would like to also apologize for Balok's rudeness earlier. It's not Braille coin, but it is a good amount. You can exchange it, hopefully, and I will give him 5 gold pieces.
Hey, thanks, friend. I'll take it.
You know what I'll give you?
Someone will exchange it
Advice.
for me. And don't worry about it. Everybody that dresses like that treats me like that.
Well, I suggest you use that small income to get a job so you can get more income, and then you can just have your own food.
Didn't you hear? He's like the head of the market. Well, he doesn't need a job.
Yeah, the head of the market who seemed to have lost his wallet every day, all his life.
Well, you know these incredibly wealthy men. They're often quite eccentric, aren't they?
Hey, now, I'm retired.
Well,
They
I
don't
don't
have
think
Social
the time
Security
suits
here.
you.
He's just got the 5 coins in his hand as you guys walk away.
Yeah, sounds like we need to get underground.
It's like I just speak to Dusk Creek. Don't become like that person, okay? That's not the type of wanderer that you want to be.
Well, Morrison, every time you arrive at the market, now you'll have a puppy following you for more scraps.
You are quite despicable sometimes, I would say. I think we should meet people where they're at in their lives and alleviate their suffering thusly. We should continue on, though.
And I stand in the middle. I think we should alleviate their suffering, provided it gains us information. What it did just then. We got to get underground, guys.
Yes,
Didn't
and
we
now
already know that?
if he speaks to anybody else and they offer him coin about other people like us that were looking for a place, maybe now our faces are now marked.
Mm.
Well, right. Should we stay inside then? Not do nothing.
Well, I'm just saying, be careful who you speak to. That's all.
Now, I can't be getting in trouble with no thieves guilds or anything like that. I'm gonna go check on my ship at the dry dock. Look into maybe getting an upgrade or two.
Okay.
Now, I know y'all mentioned you're low on funds. get that stuff sold. But before that, uh, how low are you on funds? You know, like collectively.
Well, at the moment, I only have a couple hundred gold left. My allowance is running low.
Anyone over 1,000? All right.
I'm 991 away.
I see. I see. Not a problem. Well, go ahead and get everything sold. You guys, y'all need that money. Um, I'm gonna go ahead and try to get an upgrade on the ship or two with what funds I do have. And I'm gonna have to write up contracts for each of you if you want to work on my ship. Hope that's all right. You will get paid. We'll work out those details later.
Captain, your
Yes.
professional opinion. Would it be better to pool all our resources to upgrade your vessel as it already is to some greater ability, or purchase a second ship and start a little armada? What's the better option?
Well, you can't be calling yourself an armada unless you actually have 4 or more ships when you're on the Rock of Bral. That's at least what it takes to be a fleet, to have any title. At which point you can register with the Captain's Guild.
Well, yeah, I mean, ship we buy, your ship, and then the star moth. We're almost there, aren't we?
Almost there, sure. But then you need people to pilot them. I've always been kind of a one-ship girl, but I mean, we could start a small fleet if that's what it takes. I mean, we'll do what we have to do.
But I mean, are we gonna get the results from that anyway, or is it better to just help you get your ship better? Maybe buy our way in, get a share of things,
Well, if you want to upgrade the Moon Dancer, I mean, I wouldn't say no, but then we got to figure that out contractually. Like, you're going to get paid out more the next few jobs. How do we pay that back? We can figure it out.
Talk to your accountant, I guess. Isn't that Flump? He gave me the vibe that he would also be the accountant. I might be mistaken.
Oh no, I don't let him do none of the math. Well,
Fair
I'll be
enough.
at the dry docks if you're looking for me, and if not, I don't know, one of the taverns nearby. And she'll head off. But if you're looking for her, you can find her.
Let's just find gold, I guess.
So the idea was tossed out that we split up. Are we doing that or not?
Well, yeah, I'm gonna go and look for some folk that I'm looking for. You're welcome to come if you want to. But yeah.
What do you
I'm
What do you mean by that?
I'm gonna try to find my parents.
Okay. Well, I guess if you need any help, let us know. Um, well,
Sure.
you have the furniture in your ring, right?
And also the weapons, and also the helm.
Well, we'll need
So
that with us because we've got to sell it.
I
And
would
we're
Yeah,
just go
selling
with
it
you, or what?
in the rock.
yeah. Oh, would you? Oh, I'm not gonna be staying topside for finding my parents. That's crazy.
Well, then we've all got to find our way inside, don't we? And personally, I don't want to go by one of the quote unquote official channels.
I'm not either.
I figured we might do some recon, find our own way down there,
Well, that shouldn't be too hard.
Well, you got an idea?
Uh huh.
I
Why
mean, do we
don't
know what this tunnel system is even like? Is it part of the sewer system, or is it something entirely different? I feel like we're very much blind, but you guys might know more than me.
No, blind also, but
I've never been, but
I think like a little wander around, some seedier parts of town and a bent ear might get us some answers. Even if they're talking thieves' cant, I think I can understand them at the moment, actually, with tongues on.
Thieves can't with tongues.
It says
I don't
ability to
know.
understand any spoken language it hears.
It's
which
not
means
a spoken language, really, though. Let me look up Thieves'
Isn't
Like
it?
a
Cant.
cipher. It's like a spoken cipher.
Yeah, it's a secret language spoken and signed. It's like a connect. It's like multiple things. It's very cryptic. I don't think it that tongues actually teaches you that, right?
Oh, yeah.
If somebody's
Seems not.
speaking like a different language, sure, but Thieves' Cant is like doing hand
It is an
symbols
odd
and
one that I
speaking
see in the rules. It's like,
second-handed.
yeah, exactly. It's
Like
speaking through metaphor.
when you
and stuff.
say the owl, like you would still hear them say like in common, the owl lands at midnight, but you would not know what that means unless you're a thief. It's a
I was
code.
hoping that would work.
How about this?
Well, I'll
then?
still be trying to eavesdrop any information about this undercity.
Yeah.
How about this then? Oh, go ahead.
No, you go first.
We spend our mornings dealing with our personal agendas and meet back up here, say midday. And then from there, we can move on to selling. I don't recommend any of us head to the below alone. We agreed on that?
One problem there, Governor, is I am skint. So, I mean, what my personal agenda would be... Well, I mean, if we're going to that ball, I've got to buy myself some nicer threads. And I don't got no money. Like, literally.
I'd be willing to give you a loan.
Alright. That's all I was wondering, just because until we sell that stuff, I got nothing.
Well, then here you are, 25 gold with a 25% interest.
What are we setting rates of interest among the party? Isn't it just a party pool, you know?
No, what is mine, but alright,
Does
just
that-
this once. I'll give you an allowance.
Because I was
Try
about
not
to just
spend
go
it
to
all
Father
in one
Morris.
place.
I'm like, Father, will you do it without interest?
Wait, is 25 enough to get fine clothes? How much do they cost again?
Probably, yeah. Let's have a look.
So I mean, stuff on the Bral markets, you guys haven't really checked prices too much, but typically they're 15 gold.
I've got to go and get this exchange. Or is this exchanged coin already? This Brawl coin you just gave me.
Yeah, I'll give him. I'm giving you Bral coin. 25
Oh, okay.
gold. And get yourself a nice suit and get yourself cleaned of all your snacks in your fur.
That's not. I mean, that's like, it's part of my ecosystem, mate.
Yes, and that ecosystem will get us kicked out of the ball.
I don't think so. It could be quite endearing. I do little tricks with them. They listen to me sometimes. If I try really hard. You're saying I shouldn't do no flea acrobatics? That's
I would
not
not
appropriate for
recommend it,
polite
no.
society. All right.
No.
Noted.
Well then, I have some private business to attend to, and as such, I will get you all back here around noon. Come along, Jeeves.
All right, so Baylock and Jeeves are heading off on their own.
I will also head on for my own to buy, unless anyone wants to come clothes shopping.
Enos goes off on his own then.
I do have one other thing I'm going to do. Just chat to the Hidotsi.
Reed, I know you were going to go do some tasks, so are you off on your own or with Dusk Shriek, I suppose?
I might join Enos for a little bit, just for
Dusk
Dusk
Shriek?
Shriek.
Fair.
Yeah. But then go off on my own.
Morris, what are you doing?
I think I'm gonna check out the. I think I'm gonna check out Gamlon's Curios, because that's the magic item kind
Sure.
of shop, right?
Yeah.
And then I'm after, probably not for so long though.
Try to
Probably
find a
come back
place to
there.
sell magic items.
E-
There's
e-
a couple
Yeah,
shops.
actually, because I have armor on me, so yeah, I'll go there. And also, I guess maybe if I have time, find like a entrance, or at least try to find an entrance to the Undercity.
Okay. So kind of like those awkward goodbyes where you just walk beside Baylock.
Oh, hello.
Hello. Are you following me for any particular reason?
Well, I'm going to Gamlon's Curious, are you going there too?
Yes,
Oh,
it appears so.
must have missed that.
You see,
Brilliantly awkward.
directly across from the Great Market, you can see a large a sign, Gamelon's Curios, hanging above a small one-story, kind of modest house, turned into store, with a storefront, some large glass windows, and in the front of the glass windows, in front of some curtains, are a plethora of magical items and devices. It looks like this shop is filled with all types of magical items you can find. And that's just kind of the storefront. But we'll jump to that in just 1 second. I just want to see where these guys are going. And for that, I really got to find where the best clothing shop is, which, let's just see.
Well, I was actually, with regards to that, I was going to have Enos look for not, like, the nicest tailors, but more like one that looks a bit shady. It still has nice clothes, but, you know, that you might be able to, grease the wheels or bend the ear of the proprietor to get some info.
I wonder if any of these actually show
What about Leah's
clothing
tailoring?
shops. Is there a tailor? Where is it?
Yeah. Right
I knew I
here.
saw one. Here it is. Aaliyah's Tailoring. That's going to be the easiest place to find, too, because it's close by, right down the south here. You do indeed see a tailoring shop.
Okay. Ooh.
I knew there's a few. I think there's a few more. Like, it's a pretty big place. But that is the closest one, I believe.
Tapatsata. I wonder what that means.
Oh, it's just
It's AI.
it's AI art. So it's just a random. It's an alien language.
Yes.
That you,
Pittsburgh.
yes, exactly, that you don't know. Exotic arms. These are all mostly weapons. Furriers. I know there's a cobbler. Yeah, there's not that many tailors.
Cobblery is over there.
Yeah. All right. So perfect. So you guys will head down this way. So the first thing I want to do here. Just pull this up.
You ever wonder what Duskstreak would look like in a suit?
Well, he's not going to get a suit, but he will be getting some clothing. I hope he will get some clothing.
Nothing. You know, Armin playing a little dress up. You know.
Well,
Baylock, roll me 2d6, and Reed, roll me 2d6.
sure thing. Potential encounters.
Jeeves is me. I guess I had him selected.
Yep.
The butler has chosen.
You both. All right, so Enos and Reed, on your way out of the Great Market, you guys are kind of assaulted by to 9. So let's do 1d10 minus 1. There's a chance that you don't get assaulted by any if it rolls a 1. 4 beggars. And they saw that you gave money to Ren the Wretched, and they come over asking for money as well.
I warned you.
And I just need
stand
to roll.
aside.
There is
Who said
a
that?
chance here. All right. They do not have a thief with them. You don't get pickpocketed. They just simply accost you. But you guys get past them.
I've got no Zard left. Get off me! Get off me!
It's your own fault.
And Baylock and Morris, as you two are walking to the north, you can see what looks like a peddler at one of the stands steps out into like the pathway in front of you. Hey, friends, I got something you might want to buy. And he kind of opens up his jacket, and he's just got all types of little trinkets. Some of them even look rusty and shitty. It all looks like worthless junk. He says, any of this interest you? I owe one Bral coin each.
Balak throws his cane up further in his hand and uses it to like push him out of the way, like in cartoons when they use a cane to grab someone by the neck, though not as violently. I just place my cane against his neck and push him out of the way.
You see like a couple things clatter to the ground. He's like, ah, jeez. Just starts picking up.
I
He's like,
kick
all right.
one further away to make it harder for him. Snicker to myself.
He stands up. He kind of looks. He's like, yeah, wise guy. All right. He goes and he picks it up. He lets you guys go by.
Am I with him during that?
Yeah.
Mm.
Or right behind him.
Walking awkwardly nearby.
Walking awkwardly nearby.
Like 5 paces ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll do the magic shop first. Baylock, when you first walk in to Gamelin's Curios, you see this tiny magic shop. The shelves are lined with magical equipment and items. If there is any specific magic item you're looking for, there's a chance that it's here. But you can see that it's a pretty good stock, but he doesn't have everything. And sitting behind the counter, eating his breakfast right now, which is a couple of deviled eggs, and it looks like they've been kind of spiced and flavored, and he's using a mage hand to cut them and serve them to himself, is this bearded fellow that looks kind of old and haggard. He has a large kind of wart on his forehead. And he's just sitting there eating eggs and just sees you all come in.
I thought Mage Hand was a bit over the top, but then it's like, yeah, how else would you keep egg out of that beard?
Well, welcome to Gamelin's.
You can conduct your business first, father. I have other things to attend to.
All right. Hello. Recently we came upon this abandoned nautiloid, and I was able to recover a mind flayer breastplate. It seems magically infused somehow. Would you be willing to, I guess, buy that?
Oh, wow. You get the best deals on the rock here for any of your magical equipment. Absolutely. Let's take a look.
Well, I guess I'll just hand it over and let him look it over.
The Mind Flayer breastplate, yes. 1,090 gold. He will purchase it for, let me see. Uh, 676 gold. He says, that's the best deal you'll find on the rock. It's nothing like Gasper's reclamations. They'd probably only give you about 400 for this. It's a nice piece, though. I'm sure I can find an illithid that might want it, or even take the components to it apart.
Is that really a good deal?
You can roll an insight on him.
Okay.
A nat 20.
Yes, father.
He seems like an honest man, and this is more than a 50% sale, so it seems pretty good.
I mean, it is also, whatever. Yeah, sure.
Armor and weapons sell for half, typically.
Such
I mean,
a
it is
defeated,
magic
yeah,
weapon,
sure.
so.
Even magical armor and weapons sell for half. Because he sells it for full price, right?
Yeah.
But he says, that's what I can pay you for it. It's the best you'll get on the rock. You're welcome to go look around. If Gasper's somehow offers you more, I'll pay 10% higher than that.
No, I said I would pay the offer.
I'm just making sure. It's the same deal I make anyone. 10% higher than Gasper's, because fuck them.
Good businessman.
Indeed. And it takes a look at the breastplate. He'll gather up 676 Braille coin for you.
I will not be undersold.
Do you have anything in stock? I guess. Uh,
Got all types of magical equipment and items. What are you looking for?
or I guess something that would make me either harder to hit or able to take more hits.
So there is just a flat 30% chance that he has a basic common item for you, um, or magical item. So if you're looking for anything specific, I'm just gonna have you roll a D100, but figure out what you want to look for, and then
Okay.
there's a chance it's here.
I guess if Bela, I mean, I guess, yeah, cloak of protection, I guess, is kind of what I was thinking about.
It could be multiple things, you know. If they don't have the cloak, you could look for the bracers. They don't have the bracers, you could
Yep.
look for another thing. But and each one, it's anything from a 1 to a 30. They have it.
Nope.
They don't have that. The cloak. Declare which one you're looking for too for me when you roll.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
but not a problem. You can just type it and roll or whatever you want to do as you're looking. That's what you find at Gamelon's, and you kind of go window shopping. And he looks to you, Baylock, and he says, "Anything I can get you, friend?"
I will allow my compatriot to finish his business before we speak, if that's all right.
I'm just looking around. You go, you go.
I think I'll wait.
He nods. He says, "Very well. I'll finish my breakfast then." He gets back to eating eggs. We'll scoot down to the tailoring, Elias tailoring. While the two of you, Reed and Enos, you walk in with Dusk Shriek, and immediately you see this halfling behind the counter. She pinches her nose and she goes, "What is that? Oh, I'm sorry, but your pet has to wait outside.
Huh?
Well,
It stinks."
we were actually hoping you could tailor something for him.
Also, he had a shower just 2 days ago.
She just
I'm
kind of gives
only
you a
joking.
sour look.
Tell the quag off or wait outside, will you, Reed?
No,
What is her establishment?
he's not a pet, he's a person.
All right. Dusk Shriek, would you mind waiting outside? Your smell is off-putting. The people are here in this room. Oh, I got tongues on at the moment. What does he say?
He says, "I don't know what you're talking, but I understand not any of it."
Technically, with tongues, he does.
Does that actually make you speak it?
Oh, does it?
Basically, anyone
I thought you only
that
understood it.
can hear
Oh, it's not
him-
comprehend. It is. You're right. Moreover,
Yeah, you're
when the
right.
target speaks, any creature that knows it can understand it. Oh, perfect. Then he actually replies to you. He would say, "I guess I'll wait outside."
It's no offense. We just got a bit of business to conduct. We'll be with you in a minute, buddy.
And he'll just go
All right.
stand. He'll stand by the
I'm-
front under the overhang.
I'm gonna stand with them, and I'm not gonna purchase anything from here.
And she says, "What can I get for you? I got all
Nothing, because
types."
my gold is not for you.
All right, how about you? And she looks down to you, She says, "We got all types of dress shirts. What do you look like a business monkey, yeah?"
Excuse me. No, I need top to bottom in, madam. I need something svelte that picks out my the finer points of my figure and leaves plenty of room for the old wing flaps.
Yeah, probably be an extra couple copper just to cut tail holes and everything, but yeah, let's wing flaps. Wait, let me see. Oh,
Hold them up.
all right, that might.
Flap them a bit with my other hand.
Oh, okay, yeah. I can make something around that. And what are you looking for?
Do you know what? I want to go traditional. I don't want nothing super fancy. No red velvets or anything like that. I want you to get like a sort of just the standard tuxedo, but give it a bit of a sort of simian personality.
Simian personality.
I want a
Alright.
bow tie, but other than that, like a cummerbund, that'd be good.
All right, so bow tie's non-negotiable. All right, we'll do a bow tie. We'll do a bow tie.
Bow tie is non-negotiable, madam. Yeah, sorry.
All right, let's see. She just starts to like go through a pile of fabrics, puts a few up against you, is looking at a few things. She'll start taking your measurements, and she will indeed go ahead and get you an outfit. And she says, I've got two tailors here. I'm gonna put you with Kai. Um, he's an apprentice of mine, so if there's any issues, just let me know. Um, he's a gnome, so I got a couple stools for him. Just you're not too tall, so you're a good client for him. Um, and just this way, and she brings you to the back and starts to get you like dressed and set up. And this will take you like a good half an hour to an hour for them to
Yeah.
fit you and suit you.
I will make light conversation while doing that to try and probe for any kind of knowledge of this Undercity or anything like that.
Sure.
In casual conversation, so it's like I'm dropping it, subtly.
Yeah, yeah. She says, yeah, I know a few things. I mean, people talk, I get them in these rooms for a while, and they tell me things. But what is it that you were trying to look for? There's a lot of thieves
Oh, I
guilds.
don't know. I got a mate that's maybe wanting to shift some contraband. That's what it is. And look, I told him, look, I'm not into any of that. That's not my scene.
Of course,
But
of
he
course.
insisted I look around. I ask around.
Well, I
He's
mean,
not from around here, so.
I'm just a halfling. But what I do know, on the other side of the rock, town of halflings, and not that I'm in any of this crowd or anything. There's a halfling thieves guild. I'm sure they'd sell
Yeah,
it, pawn some items to them pretty cheap. A lot of them are tinkerers.
well, I mean, I'll let him know. I mean, it probably come to nothing, eh? Who knows? But I'll let him know. Thank you.
It's not a
Ooh,
bad
that
place to
tickles.
get rid of
That tickles a
something.
bit.
I think I just sewed that to your flap. Okay, hang on. And she'll just start to unstitch a few stitches there.
It's not right. There's not too many nerve endings. You're all right.
And Reed, you start to walk out into the streets and just walk away.
Yep, my gold is too good for this place because they don't treat people as equals. So I'm gonna find a different place.
Well, let's see. That's Star Charts, Locks, Tannery, Cobblery.
Yeah, I was looking at a few places.
Yeah.
I may have to walk a good distance, actually.
You can
I
get
might
up
have to
tapping
go.
I'm
trees.
sure there's, you can also describe a small shack in between, when you just find this or that. That's fine as well, because not every store is marked, right? Like there's
Yeah.
stores in between. You can find a small little just clothing shack, or even in the Great Market, tons of those market stalls had jackets and shirts and pants, tons.
hmm
So,
I may go to where my initial plan was to find some people's
sure.
to the lesser market so people aren't so mean.
Yeah.
Well, in a certain way,
Well, you make your way across town towards the lesser market.
while also keeping an eye out because this place is likely to have some seedy individuals.
You pass by a large establishment at the Great Market that looks like just a huge magic shop. Multiple stories tall. It has this large title, Gasper's Reclamations, and it has window items, and it has a line.
Mm-hmm. Doesn't seem like that's gonna have what I need at the
No,
moment.
no, you just see that. And you keep
Mm-hmm.
walking past a lot of shops down the way, but the main road leads you there pretty quickly, and you find yourself at the lesser market. The lesser market being similar to the greater market, where it's just kind of outdoor stalls, but it's kind of sandwiched between kind of a rough part of downtown and Shao Town. and right up above it is Gift Town. And you can see kind of industrial smog in the area. The air is just thicker on this side of Bral, and you're right off the dock. And the entire southern side is just warehouses. But you can see quite a few people making a good bit of coin. I'll move the clock up like an hour and a half here.
No,
Mhm.
my tongue goes away.
No. Tongues will be up. Tongues will be up for all what you're doing. It wasn't moved from 7. So I'll say this is like 8. This is like 8:30.
That's fair.
And yeah, you start to make your way in looking for some small booths to sell things to or buy things from, and easy enough.
Mhm.
Not an issue to buy some clothing here.
Yeah. I'm also keeping an eye out because I figure it's a lesser market. There are lesser people afloat.
Yeah,
That is what people are looking
to
for.
that degree, roll me a d4.
Sure.
You see a lot of shifty eyes, and people look your way, and you definitely think there's a good chance that they might try to pickpocket you, but nobody does. Maybe it's too early.
Hmm. Well, I think this might be a good spot for me to find some things I'm looking for, as long as well as people. Um, that's a good question.
Mm.
Dusk Streak, have you ever worn clothing?
There was spacesuit I wore once, yeah. Had breathing helmet.
Ah, that's it. Okay. Do you have a favorite color?
Purple.
Purple. Okay, I can work with purple. Right. Because I was thinking, since people aren't really treating you like a person, like they should, maybe we should get you some clothes so you fit in a little bit more and you aren't treated so rudely.
As you're chatting and shopping for clothes, you notice the back side of a small, heavily guarded warehouse. A tall man bends his head out of the back door and stands to the full height. He towers over everybody around him, coming up to only about his knees.
Hmm.
He seems to move with a lot of grace and almost magical kind of flow. He disappears down a few alleys. It's the first time you seem to notice a Mercane.
Oh, those guys are so old. In the best way. Oh, they gotta know so many things.
And you just see this super heavily guarded warehouse. There's guards posted at each window and each door.
Hmm. Well, another time, maybe. Oh, I'll think about it. Oh, I so want to check it. They probably won't let me in, though. Anyway, let's see if we can find some good clothes for you. And I will, I guess, look for some purple clothing. Preferably purple and black with a little bit of trim on it, but
Do you try to get fine clothing for him or just clothes?
just normal clothes. He doesn't need fine clothing yet. I don't think his body would adjust to silk very well. I think we'll just go with some leathers or some cloth.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, you find some pretty basic commoner's clothes or traveler's clothes for just a couple gold.
mhm.
We'll give that to him. And you can tell me what they look like, but he gets clothed. And make II art for him if you have time, if you
Working
can.
on it, working
I
on
know it's difficult. Or even
It's hard
just
to make quite
just copy paste clothes onto the Quaggoth art.
Yeah, I can do that too. I can Photoshop that in.
And let's go ahead and jump now back to Gamelon's Curios as Morris. Anything you do want to buy?
Well, I guess is there
Anything
anything
else?
like he has like 100% in stock, or is it just like 30% rolls?
It's 30% rolls on any magic item because
Okay.
he could have any magic item in stock. It's just a matter of what is currently in stock. A bag of holding,
Damn, bro.
5% above. He says, "I just sold the last one. I'll get those pretty often though. I could
Does he
even
sell
enchant
tattoos?
one." He does not do tattoos, but on the Rock of Braille, you could find a tattoo artist, guaranteed.
Okay.
He says, "You're looking for a magical tattoo."
Oh yeah, if I yeah, it would be useful to have a specific one.
Well, I know if you're... Well, what do you know about the Brotherhood?
I've never known of this anything existed like this before, like 3 days ago.
If you're a sailor or a marine or any privateer, I would recommend you go to the Brotherhood. They do enchanted tattoos to all of their members. It's a serpent entwined with daggers. It's rather neat. Well respected, too. It was originally formed by Bral himself.
I will look into it. Do you know where their headquarters is? I guess what district it is in.
Just across the Great Market, around the House of Tempest, you'll find the Golden Brotherhood right on the edge of the dry dock.
Okay, thanks.
And yeah, I mean, you start to make your way out. You see Baylock still just kind of waiting.
Well, I guess it is a luck stone then.
Go for it.
Nope.
It's not good rolls.
Sorry for holding you up, Baylock. Do your thing.
You're fine. You're fine. He says, "Sorry, friend. I got a whole bunch of knickknacks, mostly wizard things. I suppose I should stock back up on martial items."
Have a good day. We'll go to the Brotherhood now, I guess.
All right. Baylock, step up towards Gamelon. He looks up. The mage hands poof away. He says, "What is it that you needed?"
Our Lady has sent me to seek for your aid, and I'll show him the symbol that shows I am also a chosen.
He kind of slowly stands up. Ugh. He taps with his staff on the ground, and you see the door locks and the curtains shut. And he says, "And what aid would that be this time?"
Turil has been completely taken by vines, this scheme by the astral elves. I've been sent by Our Lady to deal with it. The other chosen of Toril are trying to mitigate damage, but from what I understand, it's not going too well.
I'd imagine not. Probably don't even know what they're dealing with. Yes, the elves were here just a few days ago, mentioning. I was rather curious what they were up to. I took a look myself. An awful turn of events, really. So do you have a plan, or have you come to me for one?
We have met with a GIF captain He knows of someone that has astral charts to. It's Xaryxis, right?
Xaryxis space.
Yes. Astral charts to Xaryxis. Currently, we are gearing up, getting a Spelljammer for our purposes, and then we'll head out to find this person. With any luck, they'll have the charts, and we can come up with something more concrete.
It sounds like a suicide mission.
Well, it's not like we have much of another choice. If you have any insights or aid you could provide me, it would be appreciated.
I know the Astral Elves have been doing a lot more business on the rock than they have before. I took some time to do a little snooping. I've noticed a couple of things. The Elven Forest. Most people think that it's only used for a few elves. But that's not true. The Imperial Army has hundreds of elves in there. An underground base, I assume. I was only able to get a glimpse before one of my scrying eyes was dispelled. They've also heavily guarded it as of late. I also noticed around House Elodin, a rather heavy number of high-respected elves. I don't know what their full purpose is, but they're certainly using the rock as some type of base. My guess is it's big trade deals. Planet-sized deals. I think Toril was sectioned off, which leaves Bral in an awkward position.
So if we can get concrete proof the elves have done what they have done to Toril, then that will put them at odds with the greater entity of Bral. Is that what you're saying?
I don't know where Prince Andrew's standing is, but the people of Bral, I'm sure you could get them on your side.
Are there any noble houses particularly opposed to the Astral Elves or House Elodin? Ones that we could use to leverage politically? That we might.
Oh, I don't go snooping too much in the nobles' businesses. Not one for the gossip between the houses. From what I do know, House Elodin is well respected. I've not heard of them getting in any trouble.
Well, then I suppose that will be to my own investigation. Was there anything else?
Well, I suppose if you do find a ship, I'll enchant your helm for free. It's the most I can offer. That will at least help you. It's still a suicide mission, though.
Yes, well, Our Lady does seem to have a propensity to throw us into those from time to time, yes?
You know, you don't have to do everything she says.
That might be the case for the rest of you, but I am trapped in an ultimatum.
He nods. Aren't we all?
One last thing. This is separate to everything else and more of a personal favor. I'll give him a copy of the notes I've been taking. If you find any information on finishing this device, it would be greatly appreciated.
He takes a quick look at it, kind of stores it away, and says, "And where can I find you? Are you staying on the rock?"
For the time being, at least until we leave to deal with Xaryxis. We are currently staying at the Gilded Prow.
He pulls out a small sending stone and hands you one and says, should you need to contact me, or I need to find you, I'll take this.
I'll reach into my pocket and pull out my own sending stone, trade it with him. This sending stone will help you contact the chosen of Terrell. Perhaps your insights can aid them in whatever efforts they make.
Greatly appreciated. I'll do what I can.
Of course. Now then, I shouldn't keep your business closed for too long. A good day, Gamelon, and I'll tip my hat.
Don't forget to tell everybody, best deals on the rock.
I'll be sure. I'll turn around and roll my eye. Come along, Jeeves.
Roll my eye.
Oh no. And you head back out. We'll do our halfway point break here, and when we come back, you guys can tell me where we're headed, what we're doing for the second half of the day here. We'll pass a little bit of time. Sounds like burning down a forest. No, maybe. Who knows? All right, 10, 15 minutes. We'll be right back. Stream. Thanks for watching, everybody. Give us a moment for a break. Let me put this up here with the BRB scene.
I am back. Went to go feed my grandfather.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, he has
On
to eat too,
Christmas?
otherwise. Well, I have to. If he doesn't eat, he
I'm
won't eat,
joking.
and then
I'm
he won't eat,
joking.
and he'll
I'm
die.
joking. I'm joking.
I know.
Okay. Welcome back. Let's get started. And the party. Well, we can pass a little bit of time here. You know, we don't gotta go half an hour by half an hour. You guys can just tell me what you do throughout the day for the most part. But to that end, I'll say that first hour there is consumed with shopping, getting clothes, and all that. And so, sometime around like 9ish, you guys, where do you start to head to next? What do you guys want to do? I've had some time to think. You can either tell me individually, or you guys can regroup. Do you guys think you'd go individually still, or do you guys regroup and go to a spot? You try to sell the stuff. What's the plan?
I mean, if we're trying to regroup, I think it would.
You don't have to regroup. I'm just asking.
Sorry, no. If we're trying to sell stuff, I mixed up my words. If we're trying to sell stuff, then I think we would regroup, right? So we can try and find an entrance.
I think the plan was to regroup at noon.
Now
I
you
have
you
stuff I'm gonna
can
do.
sell stuff above market. You don't have to go under city to sell stuff. It was just a recommendation, but it's not a requirement.
Well, yeah, but it's smarter to do that, and Reed also has the stuff, so we'd have to regroup anyways.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And go ahead, Baylock.
I have stuff that I want Baylock to do before we regroup at noon,
Sure.
but it doesn't have to be role played out. So if we want to just skip to regrouping, that's fine. I'll just
No. What is
DM Nick
Let's
when I was
start
done.
with Baylock. What would Baylock do as he leaves Gamelon's? Where would he head
He
to?
would head to the Library of Spheres
Very cool.
and start doing some like research. He wants to get up to date with everything
Yeah.
space related. So he's not as in the dark as everyone else.
Baylock, you head to the Library of Spheres. We're definitely going to jump to that. Let's move people around then. So that's where Baylock's going to go for a little while, like midday. Morris, how about you? You head to the Golden Brotherhood. We haven't done that yet, so we'll do that. And Enos, where would you head to after the tailor?
Well, she told me about these halflings across town.
Yeah.
And so I think ever the overachiever, Enos would go and try and maybe
Go to the
inquire
Barrows?
about a deal. Yeah, inquire about a deal about the the fenced goods or the fencing of goods.
Cool. We'll head you over there. And Reed, as you've finished chopping for Dusk Shriek, what would your plan be?
Follow the CD people.
Follow the shifty people?
Yep, the shifty, seedy pickpockets.
Yeah.
And see where they go, what paths they take.
Okay, cool.
You know.
Perfect. So we'll do that in order then. Let's start at the Library of Spheres. Now this is a rather large, impressive crystal sphere, multiple crystal spheres really, but the main dome of it is a large crystal sphere building, and you know that this is just by looking at it, not only a wealthy establishment. It's right on the edge of the high city. Where you start to see that the buildings are spacious. There are lawns. There is, nice cut bushes of all type, and they're styled and everything like a very fancy, rich area. It's not just bushes and trees. It's above and beyond in every way that they can be, and you can see that this large purple crystal. Multi-level, looks like 3-story tall library has, and it's not just tall, each floor has like a 20-foot tall floor, so it's extra tall floors as well. Huge golden entryway doors that you wouldn't be able to push open, but as you approach they just open up. And Baylock, I think what we'll do is we'll probably make it so that everybody can just see this map. Let me do that. Configure lighting. Do that. You enter into this large open foyer, and you can see that it's kind of dimly lit in here, to be honest. It's not that easy to see. Um, and you can see that there's a halfling that is talking to this small machine, and the machine looks like it has a screen on its stomach. And he seems to be like a little bit frustrated with it. And yeah, you gotta walk like around this ramp. But yeah, you go. I think there's actually walls. You do have to walk around it. But yeah.
How dare.
And you see he's like, damn it, no, come on. I, I'm a member. And he keeps scanning something. And it finally seems to beep twice back at him, and he says, there we go. Oh, hey, friend. You all right, buddy?
I've been better. But no, these scars are old.
Are you a seeker?
No. At least not
Oh.
yet.
Right, good. Okay, I mean, not that it's good or bad. I mean, nice to meet you. I'm Theron.
A pleasure. The name is Balok.
I gotta go. I finally got this to unlock. Good luck. And he goes inside. He seemed like a young student. He seemed kind of nervous. And we'll
But
just
that's an
move him.
academy of sorts too. Interesting.
And you see this this machine just kind of turns to you, and it looks up, and you can see its stomach light up, and it looks like there's options in a panel. And it kind of holds out its hand, which is where he scanned whatever badge he had.
What are the options on the panel?
As you read through, it looks like you could sign in as a guest, and there is a charge, and it's 2 gold.
Okay.
The other options seem to be students, teachers, staff, and things like that.
Is there anything about inquiring to join the Seekers?
Not on the screen.
Okay. Then I will just place 2 Braille gold in his hand and click sign in as a guest.
Okay. He kind of steps aside, and you can see as he gets the 2 gold, a small rune lights up around your hand.
This is an interesting place.
As you step forward, the door just opens. And you can see stalking the shelves these tall archivists. Oh my god, I can't say the word. Archivist. Why can't I say it? I'm sorry. And he has these long limbs that are just stalking books high on the top shelves. And he too looks like he's made of machinery. An archivist. Archivist. Can't say it. Archivist.
They have such a long name, these things. Archivist is, I think, what it is.
That's weird.
Archivist.
That's what you see. And as you look about, you just see like a plethora of students, and you can see a heavy set of double doors on either side, and these look like private offices or meeting rooms.
Makes sense.
And there are just all these books. Quite a bit to study and look around.
Corner off this kid.
Ah.
The student.
Yeah, can I... Oh, you got in.
Yes, I did. I was looking to inquire about joining these Seekers. How would I go about doing that?
Oh, I just joined myself. No, you could talk to Orlando.
Where would I find this Orlando?
He points across the way. Well, he's in his office. He's the head librarian. Oh, he runs the Seekers Guild.
I see. Well, thank you for letting me know. You're about to drop that book, and I turn around and walk away.
He turns around and like just 3 books fall off the shelf. He's like, ah, ah, and he drops quite a few of them. Oh,
These mind games.
My presence can be quite intimidating. I don't understand why, you know. I'll knock on the door.
you hear,
Mystery to me.
yes, yes, come in. So he looks up and kind of fixes his glasses. You can see this short, heavily bearded gnome dressed in very noble-looking silk robes, and they're lined with kind of a golden filigree. And he says, "Ah, can I help you, good sir?"
Greetings and salutations. My name is Baylock, and I have been informed that if I wish to become a more permanent resident of this establishment, you are the one I would seek.
Ah, well, you seek membership in the Seekers. Quite a smart
Among
one
other
you must
things.
be. Have, let me see. Yes, here it is. And he pulls up a small tablet, and you can just see it lights up with a kind of a screen in front of it, much like that creature in the front room. He says, "Here it is. Looks like your first time visiting. Well, it's nice to have you. Um, Rather ambitious for your first time to want to join the Seekers right away. But be glad to show you around. We could talk about membership." And
That would be lovely.
he'll start to walk you about the library. And there are quite a few floors to this. The next floor having pretty similar things, except it also has quite a few magical items stored away. And there is a dwarf Gorman Bright Scroll that is kind of the archivist of that level. And the lower level, the archives, you can see that there's a couple of teachers down there, and one student, an astral elf, actually, but she looks like a half elf. And he shows you about through all these floors, and you see all these students. And we'll get through some of that, but for the Seekers, let me actually just go through this. So for their organization, he tells you that they are seekers of knowledge. They try to amass information about all spheres, about wild space, and all different types of peoples within wild space. And to that end, they have pretty much everything stored here in the library. And they would ask that anybody that is part of one of their chapters is either studying in the schools or accumulating knowledge for the schools, i.e. adventuring. And it's not too hard to join. Membership is open to anyone, as long as you wish, to work with them and learn. They do not take evil members. So if they find out you're murdering people, they'll revoke your membership. Not like you can't kill bad guys, but if they find out that you're murdering people in town or, things
Cold
like
blood.
that. Yeah, exactly. And you see
Evil has been out of vogue for me for at least 2 decades.
their symbol is an eye before a sword. And he says, knowledge is our most powerful weapon. And he hands you a badge. And there's no price to join. He says, any member is welcome to be a seeker. Simply these rules that we ask you to stand by, and you'll have membership to the library as long as you do so. Any knowledge you do amass, especially about other crystal spheres, any arcane flow pathways for different spelljammers to travel upon, Any new planets or peoples you find, we wish for you to bring it back to us, to store within the archives.
I'll be certain to do so. I have a bit of time before I have other business to attend to. I was looking to get a crash course on the history of wild space. You see, I'm from Terrell. I've only recently began to adventure out here, and as you said, knowledge is power. Do you have any good recommendations for catching me up to speed? I'm an excellent crammer.
Well, as you can imagine, as a head librarian, I'm rather busy, but... And he'll take a few moments to get somebody, and he brings up this woman, Astrid. And he says, she's one of my best teachers, Astrid Loreweaver. She'll show you about the library. And Astrid, if you could, answer any questions this man has and help him learn. The machines you'll see about the library are rather helpful as well. No personality to them, just ask them for your things and they'll do it. And of course, do keep a quiet tone within the library at all times.
Of course. Well, thank you for your time. I understand it is a commodity, and I'll tip my hat to him.
And he kind of gives you a bit of a nod and puts his reading glasses on and gets back into a scroll that he was into. And Astrid takes you around the library and she shows you about and she says, there's a lot you can learn here. Is there any specific sphere or peoples you're looking to learn of? And she'll start to bring you around. And to that end, we'll do a couple rolls, but I want to jump back to the main map here. We don't need all this. And what I'll ask for is going to be just research rolls. So you're going to be doing first investigation and then an intelligence check. But let me go to Bral topside. And these are all the NPCs that you meet in there.
How does this advantage feature work again? I don't think it applies here, but let me double check. Where is it? Fae, fiends, or undead? Would you consider astral elves fae?
Technically, kind of.
it
What
okay.
exactly what is the feature?
Hunter's Bane. You have advantage on wisdom survival checks to track fae, fiends, or undead, and you have advantage on ability checks to recall information about them.
To recall. This is to study. I would say no.
Okay. I didn't figure, but it's worth checking.
Yeah.
All right. So investigation first?
Sure. Investigate, look around the library.
And I'm guessing guidance cannot be applied?
Yeah, you can guidance this one, actually, for sure.
All right, then I'll add a d4 to whatever I roll. It's not really necessary, but we'll do it anyways.
Hey, that's pretty good.
I haven't had a chance to be smart very much, but I am very good at it.
A 28, and give me an intelligence check.
Sure. Can this one also benefit from guidance?
No, this will just be a straight roll. This is over a while.
Gotcha.
Like, this is while you're reading for a while. A 23. Very nice. So you look up as much information on the astral elves as you can find, yes?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So regarding Xaryxis space and the astral elves, I'm going to get you 3 bits of information, which I will message you. But that's what you find. You'll spend some time in the library. Let's jump to... let's go to... Well, Jeeves. Let's just say Jeeves went back to the Gilded Prow or something. Where is Jeeves?
I think he's still by Gamelon.
Is he just staying there?
Nah, he would have went with me the whole time.
Okay. Then he's with you. Oh, cool.
Yeah.
All right. Then you come in with your own robot. There you go.
Yeah, he's my butler, of course.
Um,
And then
yes.
like quick thing before we move on. Could I have spoken to someone, possibly that half elf?
Sure.
I know how to speak Elvish, but I was kind of wondering if I could learn how to give it the Astral Elf dialogue, not dialogue, dialect.
Sure.
Or do I not have time to? Okay.
No, you could.
All right.
So you see Astrid brings you downstairs, and in the lower levels, you see a very punkish-looking half-elf, who she does seem to be an astral elf.
Mm-hmm.
What do you go up? What do you say?
Pardon me, could I borrow a moment of your time?
Yeah, sure. The machines to help you find books.
Oh, I don't need help finding a book. I was actually hoping to inquire you directly about something.
What's that?
See, I am familiar with speaking Elvish, but the dialect the Astral Elves use is not what I'm familiar with. So I was wondering if you'd be willing to kind of teach me how it works.
Throw me a persuasion check.
Yeah. Any way I could swing this to be an intelligence persuasion check by offering knowledge?
By offering knowledge.
So have it be like an intellectual thing instead of a hello there bites lower lip.
With this music as well.
What knowledge do you offer? I'm not sure I understand.
I don't know. What would she be interested? Like, have it be more of an intellectual discussion rather than I could like offer.
I see what
something
you're
she wants to know
saying.
about.
Rather than a charisma bonus, use int because it's okay. Sure. +6 instead of -1. Sure.
Actually, I have proficiency with persuasion, so it would be a +8. Well, I'm just gonna roll that manually because 8d20 roll. It's an 18.
It's not too bad. She says, sure, dude, I'm only 20. I was born on the rock. My dad left me here. But I mean, I do know Elvish, Astral Elvish. And she'll, like, help you a little bit with some stuff and chat with you. Is there anything specific that you were actually trying to ask, or?
I just want to like be in the little bit of time I have, try to be able to replicate an Astral Elf dialect if I'm speaking Elvish.
All right. Yeah, you start to work towards that as you're chatting with her, and you spend some time going through a few books on Xaryxis space and on the Astral Elves as well.
Okay. That's all I do.
Cool. Let's take a look back to. Let's go to the burrows. Enos. You make your way through a small and quiet neighborhood as the buildings get tinier and tinier down the slopes of the rock. You can see a whole bunch of halflings running around, halfling kids running about the streets and the alleyways. And you see one halfling standing out on a box, and he seems to be declaring things to the people. And he looks like kind of like he's running for mayor, as he's just like kind of shouting to everybody.
I'll probably stand and watch that for a second. Get a lay of the land, you know.
He says,
hollering about.
"The burrows are the safest place in the lower city. Thanks to Sandyfoot." And he gives a bow. He says, "Vote Meriden as the borough's district ruler." And he seems to be giving a pitch for his upcoming campaign in the boroughs.
I'll nudge a nearby halfling, just like with my elbow, and I'll be like, "So what do we think of him around here?"
One of the halflings kind of looks to you, and he seems to just be like a middle-aged man, and he seems to be a working type, a little bit dirty, and like he's on lunch right now. He's like, Oh, you mean Meriden? Oh,
Yeah.
well, he doesn't even have to be doing this. He's getting voted in no matter what.
Oh, it's all tied up, isn't it already? Not
Listen,
truly democratic.
you didn't hear
so to
this.
speak.
You didn't hear this from me, right? Right, but anybody who runs up against Meriden's is a goon. You know, they're out of their minds.
So
There ain't no other halfling in the boroughs that's gonna get in other than Meriden. All right, he's got all our backs.
so what's this then? Theatre.
Yeah, it's theater. It's a good show. You know, it's part of the job, I guess.
The illusion of democracy. Well, better than nothing, I suppose.
Hey, democracy, schmocracy, you know. The halflings on the rock were only safe because of Meriden. You know, if it wasn't for him, who knows, maybe even them mind flayers. And he gestures towards a purplish-looking embassy with tentacly, kind of natural, almost organic material like for building. It seems to be an illithid embassy, and you can see an illithid flag hanging outside of it. And he says, yeah, if it wasn't for Meriden, who knows, we'd probably all be brainwashed by now, you know?
You seem to know a lot, mate. What do you do again?
Why do I do a little bit of this, a little bit of that? You know, you got something broken, I fix it.
How'd you like to take the what's your wage for the day?
You let me roll this really quick. Roll me a perception check, Enos. Okay. You see that he's flipping a few coins in his hand. He says, "Looks like I just made it." Ah, I'm just kidding. You're all right. And he hands you your gold back.
Oh, all right then, sir. You're fortunate that you're talking to someone who kind of found that fairly charming in its own way. So what I was going to suggest to you is, how about you take the afternoon off? We have a drink or two, and you tell me the lay of the land. I got some questions.
Oh, it's the whole afternoon. I mean, I'd have to move a couple things. I was, you know what, done.
I knew you'd find time in your busy schedule. So where'd you drink around here?
And you walk off with a halfling to chat. And he will tell you about the Halfling Thieves Guild, which he is a part of.
Yeah. I'm absolutely trying to milk as much information.
Throw me a persuasion check. I'm gonna give you advantage because he just likes you.
Oh, I have a. Oh, that's a good skill for me.
Double twos. He says,
Inspiration.
All right, go ahead.
Fucking Jesus.
A 3.
Hey, it's better.
Inspiration never works. It's useless.
Oh no. He says,
Well, it worked for me.
he
Jesus,
says,
he abandoned me on his birthday.
he says, well, what do you mean Undercity? There's no Undercity. Listen, you out of your mind. You don't go snooping around for no Undercity. All of a sudden, you're talking Undercity, then you're talking Under Barons. There's no Under Barons, there's no Undercity, there's nothing going on around here.
You said the word Undercity like 6 times.
Didn't
That's
say
something
no,
you
I didn't know, I
do.
never said it. Hush, nothing came out of my mouth. You know, it's like a lock, seal shut, threw away the key.
All right. Clearly, my natural ability to get to the point of question that I'm after is failing me. How does gold grease the wheels, eh?
10 gold.
I don't have 10 gold left.
Do you offer anything
You
else?
should.
Do you
I
try
gave you
to
money.
do you
Did you
try
have
to
a student loan
negotiate?
allowance?
So it was 15. Oh no, I would have exactly 10 gold left, wouldn't I?
You
'Cause
could
I had
always try to
15
negotiate too.
All right, look, here's all I got. I'll pull out 5 gold, and I'll be like, look, mate, I'm dealing with what I got, but there's some, you aren't to know this, right? But there are grave stakes involved in what I'm all about. And look, I just need your help. And consider the missing 5 gold a duty that you're doing to the bloody universe by helping me out. Because I tell you what, if you don't, shit's gonna, it's not gonna go well for anybody.
Oh, you win big, huh?
You could say that.
Who'd you get in trouble with?
Well, I'm not at liberty to disclose, but suffice it to say that
Well,
the trouble I'm in
I'm not at
is
liberty to just
planetary
be...
in size.
Okay. What are we talking about here? I don't... there's a lot of guilds on the Rock. I can't just be inviting anybody into the Undercity of the Halfling side of town, you know what I'm saying?
Look, how about this? I got some valuable contraband that I want to shift. And that kind of transaction, regardless of faction, is beneficial to all involved, in it?
What are you trying to sell?
Well, I was hoping to get a meeting.
Well, you got Stardust?
No, nothing like that.
Yeah. What are we selling?
Look, I'm not at liberty to tell you, but can you set something up?
Well, wait,
for
now
me,
this
mate?
is getting real awkward. You ain't gonna, how am I gonna set you up? Who do I know to set you up with? Huh? You want to talk to my grandma? You selling meatballs? What are you selling?
Look,
this
mate.
guy.
It's a fair point. It's a fair point. We have a helm for sale. You know, a spelljamming helm.
Sure.
Got a buy for that.
All right. I know somebody that would buy that. Absolutely.
Good price.
I mean, a fair price.
At this point in the conversation, I'll insight him because I want to know, like, if I feel taken for a ride by this guy. Like, what's
Yeah,
the
go
balance?
for it.
What's the dynamic?
Throw me an insight. Throw me an insight. A nat 20.
You said that nat 20 like a kid just showed you his
A
crappy
nat
crayon drawing, and it's
20.
like, it's so good! Awesome job!
You did it.
Yeah, that's it. Now I've got to think about stuff.
No. I was just typing something in. No, that's actually really good. He looks. His name is Time, T-Y-M. Time.
Yeah, that probably come up.
Time Thistlefoot. He says, well, look, you didn't hear from me, all right, but I know somebody that can sell you stuff, and he seems to be somebody that you could definitely sell things to in the Undercity. You don't think it's probably your best possible connection, but you do think that you could probably sell things to him. But he is clearly a thief. He did try to steal from you in the first interaction, and he's a little bit shifty.
All right, how about this, mate? What can you do to get me in?
Well, I mean,
To the Undercity, I mean.
that's not difficult. That's not difficult at all. It's just a matter of who you're trying to find in there. I can get you hooked up with the halflings under Baron, but he's gonna give you a fair price on any helms you're trying to sell, all right? And no questions asked.
I mean, look, I don't need intermediaries. What I need is to know how to present myself to appear as though I belong. Can you tell me that?
Well, I mean, you ain't never gonna look like you belong unless you're looking like one of us.
Well, right, so that's what I'm asking, isn't it?
What do you mean? You ain't look like one of us. You all hairy.
Oh, so you got no Hadotsi in your ranks? A flying
In the
monkey person
burrows,
useful
you
for
see
people.
any Hadozi around here? It's all...
Hello?
Hello?
It's all and then blank.
Can you hear me now? Oh,
Yep.
Yeah.
okay, there we go. It's all halflings around here.
Right. So yeah, I mean, I thought I was getting I thought I was getting in with a bigger criminal network. You telling me this is just one small little?
Well, I mean, you think the Halflings Guild ain't big? Is that what you're trying to say? All of a sudden, we're not good
I'm
enough
not
for
trying
you?
to say. I mean, I don't know. I'm very new here, mate. I'm not trying to cause offence.
Look,
Apologies if it
well,
comes
I mean,
across
look,
as
we might
such.
be one of the smallest thieves guild in the whole, but you don't even go around using the word small around here, okay? That's disrespectful.
I didn't
Don't even.
say
I'm
small.
not saying you
I'm
said
not
it, but
even.
you thought it. It was in your head. I could hear it. And
Sounds like
you're
you're
making me
projecting
say it.
your own.
You're
Look,
making
look,
me
look, look.
say it over here, and I don't want to be saying
All
small.
of your insecurities about your organisation aside, I do have valuable goods for sale.
All right, well, we'll buy them.
Right. Well, where do we meet? What's the deal? What can I? I got. I'm not the only one in this. I'm a representative of a very
All
powerful
right, you
group.
bring your people. I'll have them meet my people. All right. You tell me what time. All right, it can't be in the next 3 hours though. I'm busy, but anything after that, we can get you hooked up.
All right, I'll bring him back then. I like as a player, I'm definitely skeptical of like how good a deal we're gonna get from this guy. But what would you say Enos feels?
Enos, you can just tell just looking at it. The halfling area, it's kind of tiny. There's probably bigger guilds here, but for sure you could sell it to them.
Mm, mm.
They're the least likely to probably set up an ambush and try and just kill us and take the helm without paying.
That's
They
also a
are
good point. I hadn't
the
considered that.
one thing that you do find out as you're talking to them. They are known for not like even their guild. It's kind of seen as a joke because they don't do violence.
That's why he was super sensitive when I said the small thing, or implied, or thought.
Well, also he's a small. It's a group of a small race too, so you know.
Oh right, yeah.
Yes,
There's gonna be a whole complex around the whole. Just avoid it where possible.
They don't do violence though, so they don't kill people. They might rough you up. They don't kill people. Other guilds kill
Okay.
people.
Okay, that's a good thing to have gleaned. I will. I'm basically just gonna make my way back across town at that point then, and bid the guy adieu.
Yeah.
Aiming for that 12 p.m.
Sure.
Rendezvous.
Start to make your way around town. You can look around and tell me if you actually stop by anywhere, but we'll jump to Father Morris. Father Morris, you go to the Golden Brotherhood, yes?
Yep.
You can see what looks like a pirate's tavern on the outside, and above it there is a tavern sign that says the Golden Brotherhood. And you can see that inside you enter, and there's a very sailor-looking figure, an older gentleman, and he seems to be, by all means, a pirate. And he says, and you can see a whole bunch of folk in here that look like pirates and sailors and privateers. And he says, "Ah, welcome to the Golden Brotherhood. Haven't seen your face around here before." He looks to your arm. Is your arm sleeved? Do you have would he be able to see it?
Yeah, I guess what's the climate like on the Rocket Burial? Is it like kind of very hot? Because then I would probably not be
No,
as
it's
clothed.
it's like summer.
Okay, because I would probably have less. Because I have like furs on, because I'm always up in the
Yeah.
mountains. So I'd probably take a lot of that stuff off, lighter stuff, I guess, just traveler's clothing then.
He tries to look for a tattoo. He doesn't see one. He says, "Ah, not part of the guild, are you? Well, nice to meet you. Name's Captain Rolford Greystone."
It's nice to meet you, Captain Greystone. I guess I was directed here by God damn it, Gamelon. I was interested in getting a magical tattoo of some kind, and he directed me here.
Oh, well, if you want to join the guild, you get one for free. But we do have a tattoo artist if you just want to pay for one.
What does this seems slightly shady here, somewhat piratey. What does your guild entail exactly?
We're privateers. The Golden Brotherhood's been around as long as the Rock. Now, before the prince, before the kings and the nobles, the Golden Brotherhood existed. Bral himself started it. And now a lot of people might look at us as a relic. But if you're looking for a privateer or mercenary, I promise you there's no better company to look for in Bral.
Do you know of any work then if you're mercenaries? I'm part of a group and we might be looking to make some cash as well.
Well, there's plenty of mercenary work on Bral. We have plenty that we could offer you if you wanted to join. But I will tell you that there's a whole plethora of pickings in mercenary guilds. And this one in particular, you gotta be a little more on the privateer side of things. You know, you make money in ways that you gotta make money.
All right.
He sees like some religious symbolage, and he's like, yeah, you don't necessarily look like the type I normally have walk in here.
Well, yes, of course. I was. Yeah, I mean, do you know Camelon? Or I guess.
Unless you're not, yeah, I know Gamelon, that old man. He's one of them high mages. But you're not with the Tempest Temple, are you? No, that ain't Tempest.
No, I am of the Church of Ilmater. Church on Toril. Do you have that god here?
Ilmater. I mean, I'm sure there's probably a small shrine for him over in the Polyglot Shrine. You know, the problem with wild spacing, no, I don't mean to presume, but clerical folk like yourself, the further you get from your gods, the harder it is to contact them, to keep that connection. We don't really keep clerics on our ships too often for that purpose. I got one or two, and we would hire you, don't get me wrong, but you gotta start opening up your horizons on the gods you might connect to.
Well, I don't think that's necessarily for me, and I don't think that this might be the most scrupulous society. So I guess what prices do you offer for your tattoos?
Oh, well, sure, we got plenty of tattoos, and he'll take you over to a tattoo artist where you see this half-orcish fellow doing quite a few tattoos right now, and there's also an elvish woman doing a few tattoos. They have like a couple booths, and everybody in there has tattoos. Many have multiple, and he says, you know, the price ranges. I mean, you could get just like a little tiny spell tattoo for like 25, 30 Braille gold. But you want one of the nice ones. I mean, you're talking like $500,000. You could sell a spaceship for it.
Jeez, that must be some crazy magic there. I guess I was thinking about one that could well, it's the I guess Nick for.
I will share this with you.
Oh, is there a list?
I'll share this. Hang on. Now, he charges a little bit more than these prices, but that's generally the price. Everywhere on Braille charges a little more.
Like 10%?
Well, anywhere from 10 to 40, depending on how much they like you.
Well, considering this, I might come back here when I've got a little more. When I'm a little more liquid.
Says we got the best artists on Braille, so come by anytime.
Yes, your services will hopefully be useful, but your guild is not for me.
I understand. Good luck.
To you as well. And I guess I will go and try and meet up with the others if, just go back to the meeting place,
Sure. Start to look around. Yeah. Enos, is there anywhere else you want to stop by before you meet back up? that you saw.
With the docks, like I saw some large contingents of Hadotsi, like at the docks, right? Like there
Yeah,
are
there's a
like
few. There's a
other.
few spelljamming ships with Hadozi, with plasmoids, with
I
all
remember.
types of things. Yeah.
I can't remember if I inquired already about the state of year. Oh no, yeah, I did. I found out from some other Hadotsi at some point. I'm pretty sure that the Ysir was not
As far as they know,
being
your
ready.
planet's okay.
Oh, okay. Then yeah, no, I head back for the rendezvous. Then.
Yeah. Reed, give me a perception check and a stealth check. And do you take Duskstreak or do you send him off?
Oh, I'm not going anywhere without him.
Okay, then
I have no other.
he will do a
Hmm.
perception and a stealth as well with you.
Well, it's lucky sevens.
Lucky sevens.
Yeah, it's gonna go swimmingly. I just know it's gonna go great.
Like Reed stabbed in an alley.
Hey, nat 20 on the perception.
Jesus, it gets real dark. It's just like, oh man, we found. It becomes an episode of Law and Order, like a Bral edition.
Yeah, now here comes the worst part. Here we go. Yep.
Hmm.
Oh, look, there they are.
As you're kind of going through, you see this kind of cloaked figure wander off and disappear. And on the nat 20, what you spot, let me actually bring them over. Let me find, it's two different people. I'm going to put them over here really quick. And this person. You spot what looks like a private meeting as a red masked figure, which you think is probably part of that guild. The Red Masks, it's literally their name. And you see him kind of like just disappear into this corner in the lower city, and this is like a little bit out of their territory. You know, they cover the Great Market.
Yeah.
And you see that he's talking to what looks like an elven clown.
Mm-hmm.
And as they're talking, she disappears, and he turns around and says, "Huh? Who's there?" And he steps out from the alley and he spots you two. And he's got a dagger out and he says, "Following me, huh?"
Well, yeah, kinda.
He
Upon,
starts to step forward, dagger out.
well, we don't need to do that just yet, I guess. It might happen later, and I'm sorry if that does. I'm just looking for someone, well, actually, kind of like you, because you look the part. I was told by my parents that there should be some folk around here that have some dealings with Clive's Den, or Clive, maybe known as Clive the Fearsome. Um, and was told that if I ever needed to, you know, find certain people or sell certain things, that I should go to this place, this area, and look for people that look like you.
Go ahead and give me a persuasion check, Reed.
Sure.
Well, 15.
It's not bad. It's good. I'll keep it.
He says, well, you can't be just sneaking up on someone like that. He pockets his dagger.
Sorry.
How much did you overhear?
How much did I overhear? I am observant, so I can read.
On the
lips.
31, Reed,
Mhm.
you saw that he was talking to this elven woman in a clown-like juggler's outfit, and he was talking about what sounded like private details about the Red Masks.
Well, my parents said I shouldn't really lie to people because usually it just, nips you in the bud and you pay for it later in spades. So I'll be honest. I did see who you were speaking with. She's kind of pretty for like what she was wearing. Um, kind of clownish, but really pretty. Um, and I guess at this point I'll like lean in to whisper. And I think you were talking about like.
You see Dusk Shriek kind of like taps you on the shoulder and he goes, "Oh," as leaning from behind you, as she's like upside down and does a backflip and lands behind you. The elven woman reappears with her dagger out, and she has it like towards your neck, and she says, "Sounds like you overheard us. Guess we gotta get rid of him."
Oh well, no, I could just join you guys.
Join us, huh?
Kinda. That was the idea. That's why I was looking for you.
Well, guess that would be cleaner.
Hmm.
It's been a while since I've made a mess, though.
Oh well. Hmm. I do have a lot of interesting things for sale.
You see the knife start to slide towards your neck, and then it flips up, and she starts to just kind of juggle it around your head, and she puts it away. And she says, "Tell you what, why don't you come down to the theater later?
Oh,
We'll see what you're made of."
sure.
And she
Well,
looks and she says, "Aldrich, disappear." And he just kind of nods, and he's going to disappear into the shadows and walk away.
oh, that's so cool. Oh, is that a spell? Oh, what spell was that? If that was a spell, I
He's
think I have that one.
one of our thieves.
Cool.
Listen,
Hmm.
you overheard things and saw things that I can't let you just live for. So, do be quiet, yes? I'm gonna have a few people watching you.
Sure.
If you say anything before we meet up later, they'll kill you.
That's fine. That's understandable. My mom did say something like that.
Who'd you say you were looking for?
Oh, um, uh, well, I'm looking for my parents. They're from Garden. They used to work with Clive's crew before the whole planet got devoured by a crystal tree thing with stuff.
Your whole planet got devoured.
Yeah, apparently the astral elves, they they thought that our planet was nutritious for something, and it's gone now. So that's what I'm looking.
Well, that's awfully dramatic, isn't it?
It is. I think it'd be great for your theater. A lot of chaos. You're real pretty, you know.
Oh, thanks, hon. Listen, I'll talk to you later, alright? Stop by the Royal Theater, and, I'm sure I'll spot you compared to everybody else.
I kind of stand out.
Who's this? Is your friend? Is he joining too?
Yeah, this is Dusk Streak.
She kind of looks at Dusk Creek. Does he speak?
He does. I don't know if you can understand him.
Let me see what she speaks. No. Abyssal and common. Definitely not.
Abyssal, she's the boring kind of fiend.
Wow.
Yawn.
Well, I suppose we could always teach him a thing or two. And I guess if he can't speak, then, he ain't gonna be talking.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Alrighty, well, I'll see you around.
For sure.
And she disappears.
Oh, it's so cool! I gotta learn that.
The Batman exit.
The Batman exit. I am the knight. You
What is
guys,
time? How did you do that?
I think at this point I'll start to regroup, yes?
We read group. That's great.
Regroup.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and scoot you all kind of back near the Gilded Prow.
Whoosh.
As you have finished your studies, let me message you a couple of things here, Baylock. I have to send you a couple of things that you studied on the Astral Elves and on Xaryxis space, and there's a few things I can give you here. Just pull this up. Let's go ahead and find that.
Where's Enos at? What? See him?
He's been ejected into space.
Oh God, no!
You can hold your breath.
Yeah. You know, was it? It's about 90 minutes you get, I think, personal air bubble. But no, we should be playing the old. It's a naval
mean,
burial.
Above the
bring my
table,
GIF in.
Baylock doesn't have to worry about that. Breathing's overrated, honestly.
Really, are you not subject to earthly material maintenance, so to speak?
Oh,
Perhaps.
Oh, Oh, maybe reborn. Okay.
I will at least give her my first name because otherwise I don't know if I'll be able to get in if she doesn't know my first name.
I mean, she said she would recognize you, but you can do that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm Reed. With the plant.
And let me find one more thing here.
I also will point out, those who have been observant, no one has seen Baylock eat. He's always taken his meals private.
I mean, was it been a couple of days? You probably wouldn't start to notice, would you? Like,
I wouldn't imagine.
if
But
someone did, like, you kind of assume people eat, and so like, if someone didn't, it would take you, I reckon, a week at least to be like,
He's got an extra dimensional mouth just on his palm.
you ever see that guy eat or shit?
I have magic to handle those things.
Everyone shits in space. You just don't know where.
In space, everyone hears you shit.
Yeah.
You heard it here, folks. Twitch.
Oh, that's funny. That's a Christmas laugh right there.
I just
All
imagine
right.
just, like, the
Christmas
sound
movie.
just goes into space and just travels for a long period of time, and like eons later,
slowly, eons. Yeah, like
it just passes by someone. They hear it and smell it later, and it's like,
no, I mean it's like a butterfly effect thing. Like you do a Duke in space, it floats out, it freezes, it solidifies, it starts aggregating matter, and suddenly, about a billion years later, it like destroys a planet.
Well, you all regroup in front of the Gilded Prow.
Good old general relativity.
Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. What do you all want to do?
Well, we should discuss what we've discovered in our individual kind of explorations, right? I mean, I know Enos would be like, I found a buyer. I think
Enos isn't
I
here,
think it. Well, yeah, no, but look. I'm coming down the road. Okay, hey, I found the buyer. I'm a bit further back. But no, I would expound that. I'm like, I don't know if they're like going to give out the best price, but I do think it'd be an easy shift. Word in the community is that they're a gang that don't do violence, which I can't imagine has stood them in particularly good stead in the old organised crime racket. But it does mean that if we do a deal with them, they're probably not going to slice our throats. So that's an upside, right?
oh, well, have I got a story for you? I
Been a
may have.
nice point, have you, Reed?
Oh, twice.
You shouldn't have left us in the tailors. You know, you missed a treat there, by the way.
Nope, that lady ain't a treat. She's spoiled eggs. Besides, desk key here.
Because she doesn't want stinky mange in a place of business. I think that's like a reasonable expectation, isn't it? And she got like people high
It's not
caliber
stinky.
clientele. He bloody is. I can smell it from here, mate.
I'm
You have
gonna.
to shower more than 2 times. You have to shower more than every other day.
Well, that's all we're talking about. We're not. I don't bear any personal prejudice against Dusk Shriek there, right? But everyone's got to know their own biology, and if your biology like puts out sebaceous oils that stink to high heaven to everyone around you, right? You got to wash more frequently if you're going to live in polite society, which are definitely would a tailor would definitely be that, you know.
Oh
So if
look,
you're going to go
dead mites
in
on your
there,
skin.
yeah, but they don't stink. You know what I mean? It doesn't cause like an outward issue. It's an unfortunate fact of life that a quag off stinks a bit to most people. We just
I
got
mean,
we've got to maneuver around it. We can't be calling people bigots because they're like plugging their nose at something that actually smells, right?
to be fair to the Quagoth, he was like enslaved on a mind flayer ship. I don't think they have baths there, you know? Maybe he could be very interested in taking a bath, but was unable to for most of his life. I know
Also
I
a fair
have.
10
point.
days
Also
ago.
a fair point.
You know, Reed did get him like half cleaned. He was covered in blood initially, and he did get a lot cleaner, but he does still kind of smell a little bit.
Well, I guess I'm just used to it, considering the people I've been around. But I guess I'll speak to him in his language. It's like, do you want people to stop brown nosing you and making crude remarks about your appearance and smell? I can help with that, but only if you want.
Hey, what?
Do you want to smell good?
Sure.
Okay. I will add that to my list of sundries. I will get soap.
All right.
I'll get him. I guess for him,
Maybe just a spray-on shampoo.
yeah, something
Like,
that's not
you know,
too heavy on the
festival
body.
shampoo.
Yeah, no, you find there's a small booth in the Great Market specifically that says, "Get your Quagoth spray here. Get your Quagoth spray. It cleans up your Quagoths." Yeah. You got dirty Quagoths on your ship. Here, spray this on them.
Dirty, filthy
You know,
Got
quack.
it.
there's actually
Hey.
that makes sense. There's actually probably a
Yep.
lot of mind flayers that would want that.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense.
Get your
How much?
your dirty quag off spray here. Get it while it's hot.
And you buy a can of Quagoth spray.
Yes. Great. Wonderful.
Oh,
And
always good
we'll
when
just.
capitalism comes through like that. There's a product for everything, isn't there?
Old
I
Spice
will.
quack off
A free
spray.
market.
I will mystify and demystify my friend Dusk Shriek in Quagoth um, Quagoth Cologne.
Did you see my question, Nick?
Nope. Let me check.
Also,
I mean
yeah,
that's a good question. Um, I would say I'll type it.
while you're typing there, I did manage to get some information that I can't talk about some people that we should probably go and meet. And we'll just say it shortly. I may have made a deal with the Red Masks, and they may be expecting me.
Red masks. What's that?
Oh, they're like, one of the bigger head honchos of the criminal underbelly of, the market.
Yeah, I've been trying to get in there too, but I've heard not wise to getting contractual agreement with them. So
Oh,
watch yourself.
wow. Um, you know, she told me to go and see her at the Royal Theatrical Company, so we'll have to go into the High City to see them. They're pretty big.
What what's their why? What deal? What's the nature of the deal?
Probably. Well, for me, I'm looking for people, so they'll probably have a lot of information about people that I'm looking for. But at the same time, we could probably sell just about anything and not have to worry about any issues.
Well, I mean,
And
what do
they've
they
got
want from
loads of
you?
money. Oh, just to keep my mouth shut. That's all.
Why are you dragging
They
us
told
into this then?
they told you this at knife point, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perhaps
So.
this is a topic that's breached later.
Uh,
Yes.
you barely notice as they're. Did my mic just
Oh,
break
you
again?
cut off.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh no.
Well, we barely noticed, so I guess we don't get to know.
We'll know soon enough when he gets.
I know, smile.
Oh,
Ooh.
wait. There we go.
What?
There we go.
A robot voice is
Hey,
returning.
hear him now.
Hey,
How about
we
now?
hear you now.
We good?
Yeah.
Yep.
Does
We're
it
good.
sound okay?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
All right, sorry about that. I accidentally unplugged it. You now just barely notice with your passive by one. They stealth pretty well. Two figures have been following and tailing Reed.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Oh, they're just back there.
Yeah.
Who notices that?
Baylock.
Right.
Perhaps this is a conversation best breached later.
Oh, well, it doesn't really matter. I've been told
What
that
about
there's going to
breasts?
be people following me, and if I say something specific to what they don't want me to say, then they'll kill me. So I just won't say it.
How did you get into this? This seems
Reed, yeah, you
silly.
brought like a this is a lot to bring to lunch, mate.
But that's
Like
normal.
That got worse.
no, mate, you're coming to lunch and then you're saying, look, act normal, otherwise assassinations will occur. This is not how I have lunch, my friend.
What
I've
if
had a
you?
lunch like this a couple of times.
Well, none of you
Not that
know what
strange.
I know, so you're not at risk.
Well, that's the problem is that we don't know what you know, and we can't know if you know is important or because you can't tell us because you'll be killed. That
He's
seems like a big
maddening.
deal.
He's
Now you
bloody
have to
maddening.
tell us. No.
To be
No.
quite honest, it doesn't seem like it's really any of our problem.
Yeah, no, it's not. You don't have to worry about it. I mean, if you guys don't want to come, you don't need to come. You don't need to worry because if my mouth is shut and you don't hear anything, then you don't get put on the list.
Where
What
are we
if your
supposed
mouth
to
is
meet?
shut by them when you go there without this is a I Jesus, this is a mess.
Why do
Who
you
is
think
this?
I'm incapable of handling it myself?
Look at that. He's already spreading to different gods.
Look, there are some situations.
Oh.
which
I'm
just
joking.
One single
I
thought
just say I'm
cannot-
yeah. I maybe should remove that for D&D. I don't know.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, I struggle with that as well. I say
That's just in
Jesus
my
so
lingo.
much in D&D, and I'm like, oh fuck, it should just be like Ilmater or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Weeping Ilmater.
Starved
Bloody Torm.
by the mother of Ilmater.
Son of a
Or-
bitch.
Mary,
Rolf.
mother of Ilmater.
Hey, don't use my lord's name in vain.
You just did.
No, you don't do it. I do it.
Yeah,
it's fine.
yeah.
It's like when you got a
Like,
buddy, you can make fun of your own friend, but when someone else comes in and starts making fun of them, you're like, yeah,
I used it in
Tis,
holy
tis.
scripture. You used it in vain. No.
Well-
But yeah, you guys are chatting. Go ahead.
Anywho,
That's fine.
it seems like we have to deal with this first before anything else.
Well, you
Because
don't
having an
have to.
entourage.
Look, don't get us
We-
wrong,
we-
Reed. We're not saying this out of mistrust or out of like lack of faith in you as an individual. It's like if you riled up some assassins, then we all got to know about that because we've all got to have each other's backs. Otherwise, how are we gonna solve the old crystal vine situation? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Oh, you should probably looking at Enos, like Reed's like thinking to himself, you know what? Actually, no, it'll be fine. You'll be fine. I think you've learned. You should. Yeah, it'll be fine. It'll be great.
I don't
Um,
like the vacuum you're leaving for my inference.
Mm.
I'm
Well,
a very insecure person. I'll fill that with a lot of self hatred if you don't tell me what you meant.
We
Oh,
should
well,
not tell him that. It'll be funny.
yeah, exactly. It'll be great. I think she'll love it. Also, I think she likes me. I don't know. I kind of got that feeling.
So what happens if you learn that the Red Masks are involved with the Astral Elves in some way, or they're very they're central to it? then will you tell us or not? That will risk your life, you know.
Sure, maybe. I don't know. It'll depend. I
We're
mean,
working on a lot of what ifs here, and to be
yeah,
perfectly honest, it seems like we should just go handle the situation and then move on from there. We can
it's
work in theoretical this whole time, but it accomplishes nothing.
yeah, it's
Baylock,
really
Baylock.
helpful
Then
if you have info.
let me ask you, mate.
Mm,
You look like you can handle yourself.
I
What
tend to
would
do so.
how would you handle this situation then?
Well, it depends.
Sounds like from your tone, a little bit violence.
Well, it depends. If it's useful for them to be following me, then I would let it happen. Otherwise, I would slaughter them and hang their bloodied corpses over their place of residence so that they know not to mess with me.
Yes, so just a little bit of violence then, yeah.
Well, it depends. As I said, we need more information, and right now we're working off theoreticals that accomplish nothing.
I
As
agree.
such,
I agree. I don't like working on I don't like working on hypotheticals. I think this
Hmm.
is a lot of waffle. Look,
so then asking
I
Reed
would-
more questions accomplishes nothing. We should go to this meeting place and handle it so we
Yep,
can conduct our business further.
because I can't tell you a thing.
Well, you could, but that would mean we'd have to be enemies with
Yeah,
this and kill
not
those
just
two
no
over
yeah.
there.
more discussion. Let's go to a fucking
Well,
meeting.
okay. Sorry. One more question. I'm sorry. Enos
Mhm.
Reed, you two are the people who have interacted with criminal guilds. Do you think that your guild will be want to kill us if we interact with the other guild?
Probably
I mean,
not.
mine is certainly not capable of that. That's sort of like part of their branding, as far as I understand it, is that they're non-lethal.
Okay.
Bit silly if you ask me, but it does put us in good stead for a sale. Might be below rate, but it does mean we will get out with our skins attached. Can't be a bad thing.
Right, well, I've gathered some more information, but it seems it won't be of any use until we handle this situation. So let's rectify that first, shall we?
Sure.
Where are we going?
Lead the
Oh,
way, Reed, mate.
sure. We just need to go to High City.
Ah, I see. Hopefully you've gotten your fineries then. Everyone, yes?
Oh, I'll just be in this. This is fine for me. But Dusk Streak actually has clothing now, so that's fine. Also, here's some more potential ones, but I do agree the first one seems like it's going to be the best one. Because I just can't get it to stay with the ones that I like.
Oh, for art? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the first one.
All right.
So,
Well, you handle your business. I was already planning on heading that direction. So it
perfect.
works out.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel the need to have us with you for this confrontation?
It's really up to you. I know that I have to be involved, but you guys don't have to if you don't want to.
Do I have? I do not. I'll just kind of walk up to Reed and whisper in his ear.
Hmm?
You have the scent of fiendish origins upon you. Are you
Me?
sure you're capable? Yes. Whoever this person you had the conversation with.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, that's kind of obvious if she is what she is. But
Is it,
actually,
is it another one of those demon clowns, is it?
maybe not. She had half elven ears, right?
She did.
Do I know of any space clowns with half elven ears?
Space clowns can be all types of races.
Okay. All right. Then
You
I will not remark it.
I mean, it's its own race, but there's goblins, there's humans, there's all types. Like, yeah.
Okay. They can have
I'll just
different
show you
humanoid
the,
features.
for instance, right? This is the this is just the
Splash art.
character artwork, right? Those are both space clowns.
Okay, so we got a goblin on one end, and we got ourselves like some type of really deranged human on the other.
Yeah.
Perfect, perfect. Okay, so yeah, no, it's not like I haven't dealt with those before. I mean, in the sense that um, read about a lot in my
Well,
books.
dealing with fiends is always something you should approach carefully. That is my only advice. And I'll pat him
Sure.
on his shoulder shell. Right, well, I believe it's time for us to move along, yes?
Yeah.
To the High City?
Oh, Dusk Streak. Turn around a minute, and I'll just like spray the backside because I forgot a spot.
You
Here you go.
spray them down. you guys kind of pass some time and wait to head to the high city here for the meeting?
Oh,
Oh God, robot.
Robot Enos. Sounds like a laughter.
What happened to your mic?
Enos has gone rogue. He's
The
a rogue
day
admin
of
now.
technical difficulties.
Yes, yes.
As we're walking by the Elven Forest,
Mhm.
is it something you can just enter?
That's it. Okay. Still not working. Okay. All right. All right.
It's great.
That is something I will note. The first thing that you walk past is what looks like a law firm. On your right, it looks like a large establishment. Holstoy and Gavich, barristers. It looks like they are legally, like, they've passed the bar and they have an actual law firm here. And there's like a couple lawyers that looks like actually work here. But you guys walk past that, and you see the first thing you notice stands out a little bit. There are two elven guards dressed in imperial armor at the entrance to the high forest, the elven forest. And they just kind of eye you. They don't have their helmets on right now. One of them was like sitting up against a tree. The other kind of stands up and just looks as you walk past. They don't say anything. Yeah.
As we do walk past, I think like once we get out of Elven earshot, I'll just mention maybe we take a different road next time.
I do we have any elves following us, or did they just chill?
You look back, they've not left post.
Okay. I walk this way on purpose.
Okay, well, that's fine.
You make your way past a large house that looks like it kind of is made almost out of seashells. And it looks like a large, gigantic snails were made to construct the roof of this house. Or killed and harvested, like actual shale snails, snail shells that are like huge. One of them covers the entire roof. Um, it's like 3-4 different pieces making the different wings of the house. And out front of this house as well, you can see one Imperial Guard. The other thing that you spot is directly across is the Man o' War. We can hear you now. There you go. A tavern. And at that tavern, parked out front, you can see a star moth.
Yep, right there.
And for those of you unfamiliar, the Man o' War is what the star moths used to also be called. So it's a play on words. Their tavern is also kind of named after the ship itself. And yeah, I mean that's what you see, just kind of on the immediate entrance of the high city. But then you see this large theatrical company, a large theater, and it looks. It has like an area where you can kind of pull in, and there's lights and a walk-in strip and a red carpet, and there's like some ticket booths up front, and it looks like they have multiple theaters here. But the large main theater is filled right now with a band kind of in the middle of practice. And as you all approach, you'll see she is standing kind of towards the front, juggling. There's a few people there talking to her and working as well. You see a fire breather practicing with some fire breathing, and another man that seems to be saying lines on the stage, and just a performer of the arts. And she says, "Welcome to the Royal Theatrical Company. I see you brought all your friends.
Yeah, they wanted to come along.
Great. Well, the more the merrier. Come over to my office here." And she brings all of you to a small side office. A little bit cramped for all of us, but take a seat. Plenty of seats for all of you. Take a seat.
That's my tail.
Well, that shouldn't have been in the way.
Oh, I don't have full control.
You want a
can I?
stool? How about a bouncing ball? I could get you a bouncing ball.
Yeah, look, honestly, if I could hang upside down from the ceiling, that'd be the best for me.
Oh, you want some jungle? And she actually pulls from the ceiling down a couple things that hang down. There's a swing. There are some jungling rings. That you can just jungle gym rings. So you can just grab
Oh, bloody
onto.
hell.
She's like, yeah, sure. I mean, of course. I practice in here all the time.
Oh, brilliant. Yeah, I'll perch up on one of them. On like a trapeze. I'm perched on a trapeze. That's what's happening.
So, all's of you were interested in joining the Jugglers Men, huh?
Well, at least me for sure, probably.
Now, your little friend here, he overheard some things he wasn't supposed to hear. You
Sorry,
know,
can't help it.
is what it is. As it stands, you already know we got some spies in the red masks. You know, they've been taking over the great market, and we don't appreciate that too much. So, I got Aldrich in there taking a good listen. I don't need anybody blowing his cover, so I'm going to offer you all a good deal here, okay? You all keep your heads. It's a nice night. You all sleep nice and tight, you know, and that's good and all. And we all get to live, and that's always great, right? And you also get to join my guild. That's all good too, right? And the only problem is you just can't tell nobody nothing, all right? That's all.
I'll dangle upside down from the trapeze, like down into the conversation, and I'll be like, sounds more threatening than you're presenting it.
Oh, it's not threatening at all, honey. It's not threatening at all. You know, it's just that, you know, if you don't do it, then you're dead.
This is facts.
That is what I was referring to by the old threatening thing.
Well,
Yeah.
fact of the matter is, he's told us nothing, and it's quite frankly none of my business. But
Well,
I've nothing to
I
share.
mean,
Interested in joining.
I'm sure you're saying that, but from what I understand is that you're staying with him. And if he knows things he's not supposed to know, then I need to make sure that nobody knows.
Okay, try my mind, whatever you want.
Well, no, I
have
don't
no
think you
interest in joining.
understand. I already said it out loud, and we're all sitting here in the same
Yeah,
room. So
did
everybody in
just do
here is
that.
kind of connected. You understand?
Kind of
What's
why I
that?
was like, I could do it, but you know, it's
So why
fine.
did you bury the hatchet then? You didn't say
force
anything,
it.
and now you've just given away your knowledge.
Well, you're all here to sign up, right?
No,
That is
we
why
were
you're
here to
here,
You
right?
just
read and get
read.
close to
You are an asshole. What the hell? Just dragging us into this thing.
I told you not to follow me and trust me, but you all wanted to come.
To be fair, I just wanted
We
to
thought
see
it
the
was
theater.
solidarity.
Jesus.
Well, listen, it's no
Or
big
just-
deal, all right? I mean, none of you is part of the Red Masks, are you?
No.
No,
Mm-mm.
of course not.
Well, then what's the harm in joining a little guild?
Well, the
We just-
ham, as you
You
as you
Stop
put
that.
it, right, was that like you're basically giving us an ultimatum on one side of which is our collusion with you, who we don't really know. And
Well,
don't
I
really
understand the
respect.
harm in
And
not
on the other,
joining.
and on the other, exactly, is the point I was just about to make, which it seems you're saying that basically if we don't, we're dead. Not cool with that myself.
I
Don't know about the rest of you.
absolutely understand the harm in not joining, right? I mean, you want to keep your heads. But what's the harm in joining? There's none.
Well, we don't know your goals, though. What is your goal with your infiltration of the Red Mask?
Look, like I said, they're taking over the great market. We don't like it. We don't appreciate that around here. I mean,
Why
the
not?
jug.
Do you want it for yourself, or are
Then-
you altruistic?
I'm gonna like be sidling up to father and just be like, I don't think this is the conversation you want to have with this. I think, I don't
Well-
think even if you were to find out her motivations, I think they would not be to your
Well,
pleasure.
You see,
Let's.
it's more about a balance than about having everything to myself, honey. I got plenty to myself. I got the whole theater. You know, ain't nobody else put on shows here. You know, my people get invited to the festival grounds more than anybody. I make more money out of Andrew's pocket than anyone on the rock. All right? But, you know, they start taking over the great market. They start threatening some of my people. You know, it's become a problem.
Yeah, because
Then-
any one place, any one group has more power than the other, then the balance is shifted. And that doesn't, that means only a certain number of people's pockets will be lined with gold, and not
Hey,
everyone's.
Two-Face over there, you got something to say?
Yes, if you would ever so kindly stop cutting me off, and I'm looking at the party too. Let's
So,
bridge it in a more palatable way. Reed might have interest in joining, but none of us do. So instead of forcing coercion and jointment, why don't we just do a job for you? Clear our name, and we can go our separate ways, no worries. The Red Masks are a problem enough, and having a spy, well, that's one thing. But having some mercenaries do a job for you, shake up things a bit, that could get you more information, yes?
Oh, I like the way you're thinking. Okay, yeah, so
No,
you're not part of the Juggler's Men, and there's no connection, and ain't nobody gonna track us back. But you take care of somebody, bada bing, bada boom, everything's good.
most excellent. Oh, one caveat though. Preferably it would be someone not as publicly known. We do have our
Oh,
appearances to keep up.
what do you mean by that? I mean, what, they can't have no public face at all?
No, I just mean I'm sure they have figures that are more prominent
It ain't like
in
I'm
their
gonna ask you
communities.
to, like, offer lord or something.
I didn't figure, but we're obviously going to be on the Red Mass bad side by the end of this, and to be honest, I don't care. But I would prefer that be the end of the enemies we make.
I'll tell you what, I mean, it's not the end of the enemies y'all make, but
Wishful thinking, innit?
I can offer you some information on an enemy you all did make that you apparently don't know about if you do this for me.
Excuse me?
oh,
She's talking about the Astral Elves.
yeah.
And then that just greases the wheel further, yes? So, who do you want us to kill?
Well, he thinks himself a big shot, but he's just some lousy rogue. Aldrich's already got all the information on him you could need, and he's only got a couple of men guarding him in that red house there. They call it the Ale House, but we all know
Oh,
it's the Red Masks Guild House. Now, you can't go just talking about it, so I'm gonna get you in. Nice and easy. Got a couple of keys made already. You can slip in the back, you can do it in the day, whatever you want to do. Just kill the man.
A kid? An assassination.
Is
Quick,
this your first one?
quiet, in the streets, whatever you gotta do. Once he's out of the way, it'll disrupt their whole guild. They'll start having a little power vacuum, fighting about who's gonna be the next leader. All of a sudden, they're not really handling the great market like they should be, and everything gets back like the way it was.
My more altruistic companions probably need some more incentive in terms of the personage of this man. Go ahead and tell them how much of a miscreant he is. That will ease their minds.
Oh,
oh,
all the Red
oh.
Masks are thieves and cutthroats. I mean, they'll kill you quicker than we will. I put on a good show, but trust me, I mean, it's mostly show. All right. Well, I do like to perform, but the Red
Well,
Masks, no,
Do I believe that?
they'll kill you. You can do
Do
an
I?
insight on it.
Yeah. Do I believe she's mostly show, or she's actually quite
I would
ferocious?
also like to do that insight, if that's okay.
Same.
I need to roll insight.
I will inspiration if I need to, but we'll see.
I guess I was thinking about how capable these people are in general. Like, do they look
Reed,
like they could actually kill us?
Maybe she kind of is nice. Enos, yeah, no, she will cut your throat. She's been thinking about
Yeah, I
maybe
was,
just doing it
yeah,
anyway. Like
I was getting that
yeah, she
vibe.
seems a little bit psychotic.
I think this works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I would just be like, I think I would. Enos would say that I'm not down for being like personally getting my hands bloody over a murder. But if it's what it takes and my party's willing, I'll do my role. Don't ask me to stab a man in the back or in cold blood.
You do that, and I'll tell y'all about your secret admirer. And what else was it you were looking for there? Your Captain Clive or somebody?
Oh, yeah. Do you know if anyone from Garden made it to Brawl?
Oh,
Any of Clive's men or women?
I know Captain Clive. Yeah, I heard of him before. Uh, I think he was part of the Brotherhood. He wasn't none of the rogue guilds.
That's cool.
Yeah, but Clive, he was well known on the Rock. Uh, it's been a while since I've seen him.
Hmm.
I'll ask around. I'm sure somebody on here knows.
I appreciate it.
One last thing before we do this job. Is there anyone you'd like it to be pinned on? Do you have any way that we could do that? Or do you just want a clean death?
Well, you want to get real creative. I mean, if you could pin it on the Yakuza.
You got a dagger from them or something? Stick it in his corpse? Won't hold up for too long, but it'll raise tension.
That's not a bad idea.
So
No,
You
I.
should
I
really.
say, Balog, as you're like making these suggestions, like you can see Enos getting like, like looking at you, like with each time you like suggest something more ridiculous. Well, not more ridiculous, more um,
Drastic.
Yes.
drastic. I kind of look at you again. I'm like, oh my god, what are we getting into?
I just have my
This
arms
is
crossed, completely unfazed.
You know what? You bang up one of their thugs in a back alley, steal his knife, they won't even know what hit him. That's not a problem, right?
I mean, but wait. Should we really start a gang war over this? I feel like, we probably shouldn't let that happen,
Well, I
right?
wasn't even thinking about ruining the lowest city, but you get them fighting the Red Masks. That sounds great.
I don't think that
Team up
sounds
with different
terrible. I
communities.
feel like urban combat would incite a lot of civilian casualties right
It'll
Oh,
now.
there's
mostly fight in
civilian
the underground, I'm
casualties
sure.
every day. I mean, it happens all the time. You go looking in the back alleys, you'll find somebody.
Yes, and that's terrible, and we probably should not incite more of that, you think?
And it's not It's not permission that it already exists. It's like, oh god, that exists. I don't want to do any more of that. That's how I look at it anyway.
Well,
You,
I don't think I'll be able to convince my compatriots, so it's a moot point now.
you know it's a pirate city, right?
yeah. It's
Of
lots of
course. That
pirates.
doesn't mean we should cause more death and destruction because it's bad already.
Well, look,
Just
Listen,
be
there.
kind.
I
Father.
understand. I understand. There's a lot of little priestly folk walking around trying to spread good word and good cheer and all that. There's a couple temples, a couple things like that you can go to and find some good folk like yourself. But I promise you,
I'd pull Father
it
just
ain't like
back
that here.
for a second, I think, and I'd be like, look, I think we're in agreement that this is all a bit shady, but
Yes.
look, there are planets dying. There are enormous, stakes here. I feel like we both need to put our discomfort on hold and just
Yeah, yeah,
see
sure.
where this
Look,
leads.
killing
Oh,
someone in red masks is fine. They seem quite unscrupulous and quite evil, I guess, to an extent. But I just don't want to start something bigger over this.
Yeah, there might be a less chaotic way we could approach it, but we're running out of time, Father. That's the problem. It's all against the clock.
Well, exactly. So maybe we don't go out of our way and do a bunch of Yakuza stuff, okay? Let's just get
Okay, yeah,
this
that's fair.
done.
That's fair.
You
Don't
know.
about that. Yeah, if someone brings up the Yakuza, perhaps we don't like follow that thread as
Yes.
well. We're already enough threads deep. Yeah, no, I see what you mean.
Miss Clown Lady, I don't know your name, so I don't know really what to call you.
Well, all of yous can just call me the juggler.
Oh. Oh. That has a double meaning, doesn't it? Because you were aiming for my jugular later,
It means what it
right?
needs to mean when it needs to mean it.
Cool. Um, I meant what I said earlier. I do have some. I am bloated with many goods, and I would like to get rid of them for a costly sum, if possible. You wouldn't happen to have some people who may be interested in buying some an interesting selection of odds and ends.
Well, I'm sure you're trying to pawn some goods. We could pawn some goods for you. The guild takes care of all that for all of its followers. Not a problem.
Cool. Oh, and I'm unlike these folks. I guess I am interested in your crew. You guys are really cool.
Well, I appreciate that, but you know, uh, she looks over to Enos trying to comfort Morris, and she says, uh, you know, we may not all be sparkly sunshine, churchy kind of followers and stuff like that, but there's a lot darker things in the Undercity than a couple no-good cut purses.
Well, I mean, if the top side of Braille is constantly getting the light from all the sun and the stars, then the bottom side has probably got a lot of shadows lurking.
It's
So,
dark and cold.
yeah. You can't have one without the other. Two sides of the same coin.
Well, good luck on the rock. When you take care of that job, just come back and let me know, and I'll have a few things for all of you.
Okay. And who do I see for the items?
We'll get rid of those for you. Just go to the and she'll point you to their guild, which is this guild house specifically.
I'll have to zoom out.
It's right near the Gilded Prow. Actually, it's
And again-
in the back alleys behind it. The jugglers.
Oh, great, right where we're sleeping.
The Jugglers Men Guild House is this small back alley theater. That it looks like a small little playhouse. And she says, yeah, I mean, you just go in there, you drop off anything, tell them it's a prop if anybody starts asking, and yeah, we'll get rid of it for you.
We got lots of props.
And then there was a contact you had, this infiltrator. He's to tell us the details. Where do we meet him?
Aldrich?
Oh, Aldrich, yeah, I'll have him meet up with you at the Red Ale House, so he'll be somewhere down in the tavern. Or I can have him meet you in the streets.
That works.
I believe that concludes our business for now, yes?
That should do it. Now don't go losing your heads or nothing.
Oh, you mean kind of like this? And I'll like pop into my turtle shell, like with shell defense, to like lose my head, but my limbs are still out.
I bet I could use that in an act.
Like the head is still underneath, but the hands and the feet are like kind of like bouncing up, like happy. You just hear like an echo. Oh, that's so cool! I like that.
And you guys head off towards where?
As the other three leave, can I have a last note with the juggler?
The juggler.
Yeah, go for it.
It'll take some convincing for the potential of the setup. Is there any extra grease in doing so? Perhaps you could set me up with some introductions. I have interest in meeting with the local nobles. I'm sure at least a few will visit this theater, yes?
With all your bright ideas, I could meet you up. I bet you'd love Lord Theoden. You two would get along so well. Just all your swell ideas and all of his swell ideas together, you'd really rock this rock.
Which lord did she say?
Lord Theoden, this guy up here.
Okay.
From House Carton.
I make no promises, but if I can convince my compatriots, then it shall be so. But they're useful to keep around, so I don't want them thinking they can't trust me.
Yeah, it's always good for a boat to have an anchor.
A good day to you, then. I'll leave.
Yeah, you guys head off.
Oh, that went so swimmingly.
Yes, you could say that in a very generous interpretation of that phrase.
I
Oh,
swear you lot are all much more comfortable with shady dealings than I am. Maybe I need to learn a thing or two. I don't know.
I was
I've
born in shady dealings.
I've had many years of experience in the subject.
Yeah, I can tell. You're just like you know your matchmaking from the moment from the drop.
Look, if
It's
you're
kind of
putting it,
impressive. No, I don't think it's a bad thing. It's impressive. I just feel a bit out of my depth personally.
you get put in a bad situation, you make the best of it.
Hmm.
How it
And weren't you
works.
saying something about like a little bit of violence? You know, he was giving off that air. I don't know why you're surprised.
It's not the
I don't
first
know.
time I
There's just
mentioned
I don't mind meeting a man in single combat. It's just something about sneaking into his ass and just sticking him feels a bit wrong. It's not. It's not what you know. It's not a thing I ever considered as a career path or nothing.
Well, to be fair, I usually had other people do it for me.
Yeah, I've never really done that myself, but I've heard stories, and it's really
But
cool
you do know
sometimes.
that this job is that. It's doing it ourselves. That's the point.
Well,
Which
yeah,
is
it's my
exactly
first time. I
which
gotta
is
make it
exactly
a good one. Oh, sorry,
it's all right.
I have a bit of a delay in my connection to the servers.
It's all right.
My shell delays like it gets
There's
the sound has to
Yes,
there's
travel
some
through the
lag in the
shell.
astral space in the 2 feet
yeah,
between us.
my bad.
Which is exactly why I recommend pinning it on someone else. It makes it harder for us to be pinned as the culprits right away. It covers
Hmm.
it covers our rears.
Oh no, I
I,
mean it's not that I doubt my own ability to get away with a murder. It's more like the moral tarnish on my personal soul from the act of doing so that I'm worried about.
But we killed so many people on so many ships already.
Yeah, but it's
we
like
attacked
crawling
us
into a
first.
man's house again. Exactly right, self defense, or there's some mitigating factors. It's not just crawling in a man's bedroom window and getting him while he's on the john. A bit much in it.
To be fair, we're not going to his house. We're heading into his office.
Yeah.
Well, some people shit what they eat.
And it is not the best, but these are, I mean, we're attacking the red mass, right? I'm not going
Yes.
crazy. I'm
Yes.
Yes.
like
Yeah, that's the suggestion. Yes.
these guys are not good. They're a criminal organization. I mean, I think
Mm-hmm.
Murderers and
it's it's
cutthroats.
it's not great to murder them, but at the same time, they're
Mm.
certainly not a good force in this city.
Well,
I just don't think that we should pin it on someone else, especially a different gang. That seems silly. It seems like that could start a lot of violence.
I see what you mean. Like yeah, that's like
Well,
a lot of trouble.
let me
Seems that just
some
the clowns
perspective
want
on
it.
it then, yes? There's going to be
All right.
violence after this regardless. There's a power vacuum to be filled within the red brands after not red brands. That's a different game.
Yeah,
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 Red
that's
Mask.
my
yeah.
wait,
Different story.
whoa, holy shit! We just got flashbacks.
Might as well be the red brands.
The red
Mm-hmm.
masks.
If there's a culprit, then instead of fighting each other, they're going to fight them. So the question is, do we want to localize all the violence within the great market, or do we want to spread it out a bit to where it's not as localized and it's easier to
Well, if it's a
spread out violence is less
no,
damaging to bystanders than localized violence.
no, your logic is completely wrong because this is an internal power struggle within the Red Masks. They will be fighting each other, not a different gang where they were going to territories where civilians live. You know, they'll be fighting internally. There will be less civilian casualties if it is contained within one gang, within their own civil war. Okay, I feel like you have not you don't I don't know you're just not thinking about
It's
the
the
bigger
trolley
picture here.
problem. It's the trolley problem, isn't it? It's like by intervening and making it, any kind of different. And I go, any violence that's committed after the point that you intervene is now on you to a certain extent. Whereas just leaving it be and getting what we need, if possible, I think that's what I advocate for. I agree. I don't think we should be up. The moment we get ourselves involved in the internal power struggle of all this thing that we're all very new to, that's when we take on responsibility for any of it. We've got bigger fish to fry.
There's less responsibility if we pin it on someone else, but I get your point.
Well,
I will go
all
with
right.
the
We're
group's
talking
decision.
about
About
personal
responsibility,
responsibility
doing very
versus
much.
like actual like the optics of the responsibility of it. I guess it's a whole different thing. But
Um, let's continue walking and talking because I'd really like to get all of this hot uh, merchandise out of my ring.
Yes.
Man, it is pouring.
Yeah, you guys head to the guild house and sell. It starts to rain on the rock. You guys head to the guild house and sell some things here. Let's go to the Juggler's Men Guild house.
Sorry,
actually
I live
have
in
to
a
go- I
desert,
have
so
to get
anytime there's
a bus somewhere in like 10 minutes, so I might have to leave.
Nope,
from
that's
what
all
you're
right.
saying.
We're gonna end here as you guys get here. It is 2 p.m. It's actually our ending time. So
Mm-hmm.
you guys will arrive here to sell your things, and this will be our end point, especially with people getting head out. So thanks for playing, everybody. This is where we'll end, and we'll pick up next week the Jugglers Guild House and the a ball later.
Sounds good.
Alrighty.
So is there any objection for me switching my alignment from lawful neutral to lawful evil?
Sure, go for it. I mean, you're valuing yourself, so it makes sense for that.
We could talk about it. Let's stream. We'll see you guys later.